You know, it would make a lot of sense if I would run my ad breaks in the last 2 minutes of the starting soon screen. I didn't do that. Fuck, I'm bad at this. Hello, folks. Welcome to the Rogue Room. I am your host, Abigail Beck, and tonight we are going to talk about, as the title implies, transphobia, lab-grown meat, and brand drama amid some other news that has flitted about. Yeah, so how's the day been, folks? How's it been going? Do you like the top? It's a whole ass robe thing. I forget what it's called. But I like it. I love it. It's pretty tight, but it does fit. Let's show off the Astra from Holy Clothing. I might as well plug them because, you know, it's fucking amazing. Hydrogen V, welcome to the Rogue Room. Oh, check it out. It's amazing, is it not? It's actually Nordic. This is Nordic symbols, apparently. So that's cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty pog. I waited like 5 or 6 weeks for the fucking thing to arrive because they take forever to deliver their things. But it arrived, and at first I was a little bit annoyed at how tight it is to get on. But once it's on, it's actually not that bad. It's pretty comfortable. So I'm looking, like, the problem is they have a lot of really good things on that website. They have a lot of really cool things on that website. Let me just show you a few of the things on my wish list over there, if I may. Can you hear the music? Oh yeah, the music's on. Which is a bad idea. It's a bad idea to, like... Oh, do I have an account? Yeah, I do have an account. I'm not going to show you it just yet. Where's my wish list? It's a bad idea for me to have wish lists. I should not. Oh, it says my wish list. What the fuck? Okay, I logged in. I clicked on my wish list, and then it goes, your wish list is empty because it had signed me out for some reason. What the fuck? Okay, I can't show you my wish list because it doesn't... It logs me out the moment I click on it. What the fuck is this bullshit, dude? Are you serious? How does that make any sense? Anyway, alright. I'll show you the website, maybe. What the fuck? Let's see what happens if I search cloak, because they've got cloaks. They have cloaks. Look at this one. This one looks cool. This is the one I want, though. Look at... Oh my god. Oh. Look at this piece of pure majesty. And it comes in colors. Look, it's got a blue. I really like the Deadly Nightshade. Ah, I need it. Among other things. This website tends to focus on a sort of... oh, this one. Oh my goodness. It's, yeah, it's that kind of Renaissance or pagan vibe. Yeah, new Renaissance, Wiccan, Viking, Celtic, boho is all the kind of stuff you can expect from this site. I love these dresses they have. This skirt, I need it. I fucking need this so bad. Just like, oh my god, I think the grey. Anyway, I'll stop gushing over this website and their clothes because, oh my god. Very cute site. It's where I got this from. I think I put someone onto it today. Saoirse on Twitter. Hello there, Kiara. And also something arrived in the mail today. I got, for some reason, I got a practice butterfly knife. Because that's a normal thing that you do. Is you go on eBay and you buy a steel practice butterfly knife that's not sharp. It's blunt. Yeah. Why I purchased this particular item, I have no idea. But anywho, practice, yeah, in case I get approached by certain individuals. Then, you know, maybe I'll buy a real one. Anyway. No, I wouldn't want to fuck with one of these things in real life because how often you would you would need to get really good at it first and then maybe try your luck with a real one because holy fuck, the amount of times I would have cut my fingers off already, and like since the couple of hours I've had it out of the mail this afternoon. I got it at about 6 p.m. It's now 9 p.m. Would take all of about 5 minutes to replace that blade with a sharp one. Yeah, you just need like a hex screwdriver. Like the 5-pointed star screwdriver, and you could find the blade, and yes, you could totally do that. Not that I would, because I literally bought this just to do tricks with. I didn't buy it to actually stab anyone with. You know, I'm gonna look up how to do the things with this. Anyways, neither here nor there. How's everyone's day been? Have you been good? Have you been chill? Have you been vibing? Please tell me you have been vibing. I would very much appreciate to hear that you have been vibing. I feel like I've surrounded... Like, this is just another fidget toy. That's what this is, just another fidget toy, honestly. My desk is covered in them. Look. Infinity Cube. This thing. Fidget. More fidget. I have my old Sims 3 plumb bob USB that I literally just sit there and I just go like... I just like plug it in and I take it out. All the time. Why? I have crystals on my desk that I just rub occasionally. This is what I do. This is a bit awkward actually. This is a bit awkward because this is from back before I was mum. But my kids, and this is good. I mean, I like the yo-yo. Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that I have a yo-yo. But the message, the sentiment is a bit off. Regardless, I do like yo-yos. Okay? I will concede. I like the yo-yo. Not that I can do it very well, mind you. Hello, Fox. How you doing? I'm showing off my yo-yo skills, which is like literally that. That's it. That's all I can do. And my camera's probably not even picking up the speed of it because my camera is garbage. Yo-yo play on stream. Yes, indeed it is. With my head cut out of the shot. Somebody buy me a better camera, for goodness sake. I'm thinking of actually moving my camera so it's a little bit further away. Maybe even putting it on the tower. I could probably feasibly do that now. Like, I consider putting the camera on the tower there. You get more of a wide shot of the room a little bit. Toxic person you unfortunately had to live with went fucking nuclear. It has been booted out by the other not toxic person you live with. Interesting mix of happy and anxiety stress. I mean, I can get that. I understand that it's weird, that kind of situation where it's, you know, you've solved one problem, but at the same time it's also a very stressful situation. And yes, the yo-yo does make me happy because A, it's a yo-yo, and B, or actually maybe A, it's from my kids. And B, it's a yo-yo. I can't do yo-yo tricks though. I could add it as a reward, as a channel point reward. But I can't do yo-yo tricks. I'm not good at it. What do you expect me to do? I can add... Hello, Kilonia. How you doing? Here we go. It'll be at the 600. They do not learn tricks for it. Okay. Oh, I made the mistake of putting sugar in that. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, We'll give it a cooldown so you can't spam me with it. There you go. There's a yo-yo thing. Why?
I see you've brought
Marsh Yellow.
Welcome,
hello, friend.
friends.
We're gonna bring the yo-yo out again, apparently. After we put our raid lighting on. Thank you for the raid. Hello, raiders. How are you doing? Welcome to the Rogue Room. I'm Abigail Beck, host of the Rogue Room, where tonight we are going to talk about a few things. We'll come back to adding channel point rewards in a moment. We are going to talk a little bit about transphobia, lab-grown meat, and brand drama. Isaac, welcome to the Rogue Room. How you doing, friend? Anyway, raiders, please enjoy my atrocious yo-yoing. I'm putting the camera up so you can see my head, because you couldn't see my head before. Transphobia, grown drama, yes indeed. How was your stream? Marshmallow, tell me all about it. We are doing a yo-yo, apparently. I'm a yo-yo streamer now. That's a trick I call you fucked it up, you stupid bitch. Lab-grown meat, or as I call it, a lab slab. That's fucking good. Is that spicy? Spicy? Welcome to the Rogue Room. How are you doing? How was the stream? Tell us all about it. What did you get up to tonight? Do we have a mod in chat who can give it spacey? There we go. Well, I couldn't tell what the X was. As someone who used to have the username Rogue Bitch, but replaced the I with an X, I've just mentally placed the X as an I for some reason. Thank you, Draco. This is my dad yo-yo. You know what? Just to alleviate the dysphoria, the yo-yo is officially called Dad. Dad is now a part of the Rogue Room lore. Dad is a character, and the character is the yo-yo. Shall we talk about Dad? What is Dad like? Aside from being thrown around stupidly. I get the feeling Dad is a bit of a racing fan. Dad likes racing. Dad the yo-yo, he likes racing. And he's a he. Dad the yo-yo is a male. It's just called Dad because it's a boomer toy. You're not wrong. It's still pretty cool though, right? That I can yo-yo, kinda. Daddy Yo likes speed. It's all about speed and crazy loops. Holy crap, I shouldn't have done that. That could have smashed my monitor and I do not have $400 to replace it. Dad uses yo-yo pronouns. I love that emote is getting used. Thank you so kindly for that. Thank you for reminding. Is that subs? I can't remember if that one is subs. That's basically our capper at this point. Is that one? Oh no, that's the 5k bits reward, dude. Bits. So if you want that one, you have to give me $50 basically. If you want my own little troll laughing kappa style emote to stick at the end of sentences to indicate you did a funny, you have to spend $50 on me, bitch. Anyway, Dad says that's enough yo-yoing. Why am I continuing to do it? Got to spend 100. Oh fuck, is it really that much? I thought you only paid like I thought you only paid like a little bit on top of the cost of bits. Like I thought it was only, you know, I estimated you pay like $62.50, and you get 5,000 subs. That's 5,000 bits, not 5,000 subs. That's ridiculous. Oh my god, Twitch, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's put it back to our bisexual lighting. I don't know why I use bisexual lighting. I am a lesbian. 5,000 bits, $50 USD to stream, 103 AUD to view. There you go. So anyway, let's come back to this because I missed this part. You were streaming Minecraft. Okay, so, by the way, Andre, hello, how you doing? And everyone, welcome in. What were you getting up to in Minecraft? Oh, do we like the dress? Tell me what you were getting up to in Minecraft, please. And why is my ring not on? I have to double check that. I've got some serious skepticism. Let's show off the dress because I love it. This is my Nordic pagan dress, I suppose. It's called the Astra from Holy Clothing. I'm going to buy more of their stuff And I am going to start wearing it and promoting their thing on stream and then plugging them on social media and try to get myself a fucking affiliation with them or something. Because, like, look at this. I love it. It's fairer in USD. 5k bits is 64 USD. See, that's what I was thinking. Okay, that's what I was thinking. And it's got a cute little hood. Are they cooperatively owned? I don't know, honestly. Hadn't thought about that. Might be worth looking into. You want to stream Minecraft next time you live, but you also want to do Code Vein? Do what your heart tells you to do. Speedrunning with a lot of deaths and failed attempts. That sounds awesome. Trying for a PB as another streamer was talking smack at us being bad. Well, now you have to get that PB. You have to go crazy on them. You have to go wild on them. I should get back to Minecraft. Yeah, honestly, the witch's outfits from the Lady Dimitrescu's daughters. It does very much remind me of their outfit, except for the fact that it's not low cut and I don't have massive tits. But it does look very similar. So I'm kind of enjoying the vibe in that regard. And then do yourself a Galacticraft stream, Madam Scoville. That's what you need to do. Next time I do Minecraft, which won't be for a while, let's be honest with ourselves. But I do want to go back to it at some point. I remember doing my hardcore runs. I loved doing hardcore runs. Doing that 100% attempts and all that sort of stuff. I would like to get back into that sort of thing. At some point. Not seriously like I used to. Anywho's. Andre, did I formally welcome you? Did I formally say hello, welcome to the Rogue Room? I don't know, but I've got your alert here that says you followed 5 minutes ago. I remember saying so to Isaac and Spacey. But anyway, you're going to get a snack and chill. That sounds good. Have a good snack. Have a good chill. Thank you so kindly for the raid. Oh my goodness, I appreciate it so much. Shall we talk about something? It's been a year or so since your bros and you have spelunked in Minecraft. Look forward to the next time. It's a good game. Quite frankly, when they announced they were bringing on one of the developers of the Aether mod, the Aether mod, I was hopeful. I had my fingers crossed they were eventually going to do some kind of Skyrealm in Minecraft, and I'm still keeping my fingers crossed. I hope they do. I think it'd be really awesome if they did that. But it seems by and large there is a heavy focus on educational material in the game, axolotls, for example. I mean, they are adding some more mystical elements to it, of course. But I really, really want them to do the Skyrealm already. I really think they need to do that. New Destiny season dropped yesterday. Is it weird that every time I see the word Destiny now, I immediately think of the debate, bro? I don't think of the video game. I mean, I've never really played Destiny to any serious extent, so, you know. One of the things I think Minecraft desperately needs is more dimensions, more realms that explore different ideas. And, yeah, as of right now, they haven't really done that. Welcome back, Andre. Yeah, Boogie2988 got arrested, got charged. Let's talk about that first. Let's break that one out. Because this is kind of amusing. I don't like Boogie2988. I don't like him. Okay, I'm not fond of him. He's a wanker. He's a very centrist wanker. So I'm not a fan of him. But, and for that reason I find this amusing. YouTuber Boogie2988 has warrant for his arrest related to the September shooting incident. So for those who don't recall, he fired into the air. He fired into the air when someone approached his house. We're going to find out the details in a moment. Last year, the YouTuber fired a warning shot at another YouTuber who showed up to his home, which, I mean, don't show up to people's house. But YouTuber Boogie2988 has a warrant out for his arrest following an incident where he fired a gun in the air last year. In September of last year, Stephen Williams, commonly known by the YouTube moniker Boogie, said that he fired a warning shot in the air after banned YouTuber Frank Hassel showed up at his house. Now he has a warrant out for his arrest for aggravated assault, which YouTuber Keemstar says is related to the incident from last September. The Washington County, Arkansas Sheriff's Department website lists Williams under its warrants section and notes that it was issued on May 7. The website confirms Keemstar's tweet noting that the warrant is for aggravated assault and that his bond is $5,000, which is nothing for someone like Boogie. Williams did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Before Hassel arrived at Williams' house last year, Hassel had been posting harassing tweets about Williams, which Williams described to Motherboard as dehumanizing. He told Motherboard at the time he was not sure if he would be charged for firing a weapon, which obviously he has. And yes, do not fire guns into the air. That's a stupid idea. If you fire a gun into the air... Now, this is from back in September, but now he's been... there's a warrant out for his arrest with a bond set at $5,000. So this happened back in September, ages ago. But yes, do not fire guns into the air, because bullets come back down and they can still kill people. For the record. Being schooled in stand your ground laws by lolbatarians last night about what Boogie did. The law is really weird and inconsistent. Like, you can draw and fire if someone's in your house, but not if they're just on your property, even if they're literally one step away from your doorstep. That's interesting. I wonder why it's laid out that way. What do we think the reasoning is behind why the stand your ground laws? Is that the same as castle doctrine? Because that's what castle doctrine is a thing in the US. I don't think it's necessarily the same thing here in Australia. I think there may be some form of castle doctrine in Australia where you're allowed to legally defend your home from intruders, depending on the state. A gun has one purpose, to kill. If you're not intending to end a life, your finger doesn't even touch the damn trigger, aiming in the air or not. Exactly. So it's hugely, hugely irresponsible, which is not at all surprising, from Boogie2988. Again, seems like a very irresponsible person to me, from what I have seen of his behavior around the internet. He doesn't seem like a very responsible person, and thus I'm not a big fan of him. Just use a toy gun. Yeah, exactly. You can get a BB gun. They have BB guns that look like real 9mm. You know, you could just do that. And then if you hit somebody with it, it's gonna hurt. You know, if you shoot someone with a BB gun, at least you didn't, probably didn't kill someone. I mean, if you were to shoot someone with a BB gun in the eye, there's a possibility, I guess. But let's not talk about that. Or just call the police, you know. Still ACAB, but in that situation, call the cops. Don't fire a gun. You have opinions when it comes to firearm safety. Oh, yeah. So do I. You know, when people sort of get angry at me for my kind of radical fuck the guns off takes, people will say to me, I've seen this argument so many times whenever I mention, you know, oh, they should outlaw guns because guns kill people. Obviously, that's their purpose. People will say, oh, but people get in car accidents all the time. Car accidents kill people. What, you want to outlaw cars too? It's like, cars are designed for transport, dipshit. Guns are designed for literally killing things. Anyways, Boogie2988. Oh, do we have to bring up J.K. Rowling every stream? I'm fucking sick of her. Yeah, be a very one-sided poll. Anyways, that's that little segment there. Where were we? What was I gonna do? Hang on a second. Let me just look at something here. I forgot what I was doing. Give me a moment. Outlaw cars return to train. I mean, that's actually a pretty base take, if I'm honest with you. There we go, that's sorted out. I forgot to do my redeems for, to change my request queue. Anyway. Booger2988. He's a twat. She who shall not be named is pure evil, exactly. But, like, yeah, I am much more in favor, honestly, of public transport versus, private transport. You know, it'd be a better society if everybody used the bus, used trains, things of that nature. At least, you know, from my perspective, I think it'd be a lot safer. Return to horse, so we can have horseback sword duels. Can we have that kind of thing? Also need a license to drive a car or ride a motorbike because, well, they're fucking dangerous, precisely. If somebody does end up getting killed as a result of your driving, chances are you're going to lose that license and you can't drive anymore. Shocking how that works. Consider conveyor belts. Just replace all the roads with conveyor belts. You input your destination and, like, how about, yeah, we change all the roads, not conveyor belts, but we change all of the road system so that your car is no longer something you actually control. You just input your destination and the car drives you to the destination automatically. You have no control over it, and it is perfectly capable of abiding by the road rules and all of that kind of stuff. Utopian solution, of course, wouldn't work in a capitalist society because in a capitalist society those cars would be designed to fail at some point and kill people, which is not what we want. Prefer the walking idea because money, yeah. I prefer the idea of walking everywhere, but the problem is you can't really walk everywhere because, you know, if you want to get a job that pays well enough to afford a suburban home away from an economic center, like, typically speaking, that distance is going to be about 2 or 3 hours. That's why commuting is a thing. You know? No more traffic jams, though. I mean, ideally. You know, possibly. Whole thing. Yes, the whole thing. You'd love to try jousting. It sounds pretty fun. Also, people with difficulties walking. Yeah, true. Can't afford a car. Even if you did have a full license, I lucked out on getting a car. I didn't luck out the first time. The first time I got massively into debt that I'm still paying off for a car that broke down and cost me a further $3,000 of debt. And then after the fact, after the car was gone, my dad purchased his ex's old car off her and gave it to me. So I've got dad privilege. You know, and dad who scarcely talks to me these days. I don't know why that is. Very weird. Anywho. Use bikes to go to work? I mean, that'd be good. That's a good idea, actually. Bikes take up a lot less space. They're a lot more environmentally safe. Environmentally friendly, rather. The only difference there, the only significant obstacle there, of course, is that, you know, with bikes you have to consider... And yeah, the exercise is a good thing. You do have to consider, you know, it's a lot more difficult for children to, you know, to take children around. From, like, to school and stuff, you know. Who is that gorgeous being? That's me babbling. How you doing, friend? How's it going? Yeah, like, and, you know, yeah, I know there are parts of the world where they do that thing routinely. You have pie. What kind of pie have you got? Oh my goodness. Please share the pie, or at least share the idea of the pie. Less about you crashing and taking yourself out than it is an idiot driving, not seeing you and taking you out. True. That would be the major issue with regards to the motorbike thing. I wanted to ride a motorbike for a while there, but, you know, being a responsible adult with children, it was more about how do I get my kids around first than it was about having a cool motorcycle. Of course, I think to an extent there is a bit of responsibility on the bike rider as well to be visible. I think there are more than a few bike riders out there, cyclists and motorcyclists, who specifically ride dangerously, get in blind spots and things like that, because they want to show off. Look at me, I'm cool, I'm on a motorbike. I'm going to zip past you while you're trying to turn this intersection. You know? I've noticed quite a few people on motorbikes do that sort of thing. Yeah, more confidence in your ability to avoid that. On a motorbike, you can see more. Well, true. Too many blind spots in most cars. People in cars are already assholes to people on bikes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, there's always a price on riding vehicles. Absolutely. There's always going to be some problem. We can't resolve every issue that goes into the vehicle system in the world today. Just looked it up and Segway has announced a hydrogen fuel cell powered motorcycle. That sounds good. Is that good? That sounds good. I imagine that's good. Can I run an ad break quickly? Because I forgot to before. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to skip the ads, you get some cool emotes. And I'm running ads right now, just so that we can have no mid-rolls for the next 32 minutes. That's what I'm going for. Once got a panic attack while learning how to drive. After that you went, nah, no driving ain't for me, and live on public transport. I can understand that. Yeah, like I used to travel exclusively by public transport, and it was exhausting and it was tiresome to do so. But that was at a time in my life where either it was before I had kids or after I had kids, and you know, I was still with their mother at the time, so I was able to, you know, get around on a bus or whatever to get to where I needed to be. I could afford the time to do it, basically, to go to wherever it was that I needed to be at that point in time. So it depends on circumstances. A lot of people have vehicles for the sheer purpose of they have no choice. A lot of people have cars because they have no choice. How about boats? What are the risks riding on a boat? You could capsize. So wait till solid state batteries get here, then everything changes. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. Looks a bit Cybertruck-ish. What did you say it was called again? It was a Segway... Hydrogen motorcycle. Was that where it's hydrogen motorcycle? Let's have a look. Segway unveils Tron-like Apex hydrogen electric motorcycle. That does look fucking cool. Oh, Fuel Cell Works. Here we go. Once known for their eponymous two-wheeled self-balancing personal transport, that's a mouthful. It's a scooter. Segway has hit news again this week after the company revealed on its website the Segway Apex H2 hydrogen electric motorcycle. Also, the ads should be off. The ads should be off now. Oh, whoops. That's the wrong one. There we go. I was just checking to see, like, how the ad... I did run the ad roll. Yeah, the ad roll should be done. Perfect for your Razer face mask. Oh, dude, the Razer face mask looks legit. Look at the Razer face mask. Project Hazel. Did this ever release? I want one of these things. Did this ever release? Or are they still working on it? Has voice modulation. Surgical N95 respirator. Auto sterilization function. Go away. No. It's got RGBs. Exactly. $5 a month. Or $9 if you're in Australia. It looks so fucking cool. I need it. Hell, I will take a mask that's not even... doesn't have all these features and just looks that cool. Because this is like a fair chunk of money if I'm not mistaken. I can be notified when it's available. Did they ever release it? Was it an April Fool's joke? Is it legit? I can't tell if, like, this is the thing. Razer has done so many of these things. I posted my going live message on Facebook asking what would you turn RGB, like what household item would you turn RGB if you could. Remember when Razer did an April Fool's joke about an RGB toaster and it would toast the Razer logo on your bread? It's like they could do that. They could legitimately do that and it would sell like fucking hotcakes. The RGB carpet too, yeah. I was just thinking you could totally do the RGB carpet. You buy a carpet, you buy the RGB strip, you sew it into the edge of the carpeting, you plug it in. It could work. You could do it. Trust me, it's a possibility. I may well do that. Why not? Can you imagine? Put that in my living room. It's like, hey kids, check out the rug, and then flick it onto, RGB mode. And they would lose their minds at it. They already love just the colorful light in the ceiling. Put it on party mode. They go crazy for that. You can't imagine an RGB house. You can imagine an RGB house. I mean, if I had the money. Just for the hell, because it'd be tacky as all fuck. I would RGB everything. If I had my own house and I could afford to do it, I would put lights everywhere. Need to eat radio, Andre. Sounds good. I got the Razer headset with the kitty ears. They look pretty cool. Started making disposable face masks when COVID started. Oh yeah, they have a regular mask as well, don't they? They have a reusable one. They've got this, Project Hazel, which is still... but yeah, they've got the folded cloth mask, they've got bandana masks, they got the reusable ones. And yeah, Razer for Life surgical mask, there you go. So they've got a few. They look pretty cool. No, I'm pretty sure the straps do not light up. Problem is, it's $19.99 USD, and I don't even know if they ship to Australia. This one's out of stock. All of them are out of stock. I think. Oh, maybe not. I genuinely consider getting one of these, even though I don't use Razer products, generally. I don't have any Razer products at all. I've got nothing by Razer. Can you imagine if the first Razer product I ever purchased is a fucking face mask for COVID? Yeah, total RGB kitted house. Go wild with it. Go absolutely wild with it. Do everything up in RGB. I'm trying to make an RGB rug, but you still have the plan in mind to make your own kotatsu? Kotatsu? What's a kotatsu? Oh, I see. That's pretty cool. A kotatsu table with a heated blanket. That's interesting. That looks fun. I want to have one. I want to have that. Anywho, we can read a little bit more about this and then we can get into some news. Once again known, oh yeah, we already read that bit. Details for Sparse for the Apex H2, again, RGB motorbike. With no apparent press release available anywhere within the geolocated hellhole that is the Segway and parent company Ninebot web pages, and only a Chinese language product page that cannot be translated by Google because the page is made up entirely of images. Well, that's a bit shit, isn't it? So what do we got here? Oh, I see. Yeah, that doesn't help anything, does it? You can't translate it. The Segway Apex H2 is currently listed at a surprisingly low price of 69,999 yen. What does that translate to? Oh, Chinese yuan, sorry. At around $14,000 in Australian. What an RGB dishwasher, fuck yes. Kotatsu is tokusatsu. What's tokusatsu? Please do tell. Have I considered Rogue Witch as a replacement? I did actually consider Rogue Witch as a replacement. Yeah, I did consider it, but I'm not witchy enough in my vibe. Also, I'm still way too low down here. Yeah, I don't have enough witchy things going on, generally speaking. I'm not really particularly mystical. I talk about the news, like... That's the main thing, is like, yeah, I'm too atheist. Am I keeping the rogue part? I'm not sure. Yeah, we can do an outfit model. We can keep showing this off because I love it. We can keep showing this off because I'm in love with this outfit. I'm just going to do it all night. I'm just going to dance around in my thing, which makes me feel pretty. It's got these flowy things on the sleeves. Look. Yo-yo time! Why not? Let's do it. Let's go wild. And then we'll read some news. We'll talk about, the transphobia case in just a moment. Here's a bit of yo-yo for you. You can watch me do a bit of yo-yo. Neon Rogue, that's an idea. I do already, yes, it's got a hood. It's got a hood on it. As you can see. I do have... Bring out the dad. I do have an idea in mind already, and I've talked to a friend about it, and they're like, honestly, sounds like a pretty good idea. Better than what I've got right now, which is honestly not particularly branded. I don't like Rogue BX. It's too generic. It sounds like some shitty gamer tag. But I am thinking on something. So I have a few ideas in mind. Keep that in mind. Rogue Yo-Yo. I'm not going to become a yo-yo streamer. Although that'd be fucking cool, wouldn't it? That'd be pretty pog. Cat Girl... Is that Lily? Cat Girl Lily. Welcome to the Rogue Room. How you doing? Sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us. Which is what I used to say. Every single time someone followed, and I had to shorten it to Welcome to the Rogue Room, because Welcome to the Rogue Room, sit down, grab a drink, and chill out with us is fucking exhausting to say every single time someone follows. Maybe I could push that up to subs. And I still haven't fixed my my gift sub, group of gift subs thing. If someone were to drop 5 gift subs on me right now, or 7 and get me up to my goal of 150 for total subs, it would still be, it would list every single subscriber. And it's like, fucking Christ, stop doing that. Anyways, Grimpy, thank you for the funny number. That's the funny number. Actually, you know what? Hang on, I think I've got something here. Hang on.
Oh, that's the funny number. Haha.
You know what? I might actually, I've got a few things here from Botwick that I don't use. I've got a bunch of sound effects from Botwick. And maybe I'm thinking I could take some of these sound effects that I've got for Botwick that I've had pre-recorded for ages, just sitting here on a soundboard, and maybe I could turn those into various alerts regarding bits or subs or whatever.
Affirmative. A sound plan. An interesting idea.
Okay, Botwick, you can shut up now. We get it. What kind of bracelets? I've got this amethyst bracelet that my sister gave me. It looks like a bunch of gross teeth. And then I've got my snack. I got a snack bracelet. Look, it's a snack. I mean, it only has like the snake scaly bits to like the edges here, and then it's all smooth. Anyways, my yo-yo moves are shit. I can't do anything. I can just literally just yo-yo. That's it. No sad Botwick noises.
Negative.
What is this one?
Perhaps you are just not that good at this game.
That would be relevant if I was playing video games, but I'm not.
Perhaps. Unacceptable.
Oh, goodness. I had this one pre-planned. Can you imagine, perhaps... Fucking hell, my camera is still not sitting correctly. I need to find a much more permanent solution for my camera. Can you imagine what this one was intended for?
We will not be discussing this topic.
Think about what that one might have meant.
Viewer, you have been warned.
Oh yeah, I should use that one more often with regards to moderation stuff.
Trans rights.
Trans rights.
Look, it's that joke again. Hilarious.
I need to start using that one. Anytime someone comes in with the attack helicopter shit. Pipeline news today. What is in the news pipeline? Do you have any news to recommend to me before I get started on the stuff I've got planned? Trans wrongs, arson, trans rights, and trans lefts. Anyway, I do have a few things here that I want to talk about. I want to regale to you, if you missed this on Twitter, because I particularly want to talk about this particular case. I posted this tweet. Yeah, stream marker, whatever. I didn't mean to do that. Arson is very much alright. I posted this tweet. My brain tells me I'm a woman. My brain is part of my biology. Ergo, I am a biological woman. The logic's pretty sound, right? Trump supporters are blaming Biden for the gas prices. Alright. A pipeline got hacked in Texas, affects the entire East Coast. Send me a link to it, and we'll check it out. The ban button identifies as a surface-to-air missile. And yes, Scotsman posts, yes, science, which is the actual quote. Jesse never said science, bitch, for the record. Trans North. Yeah, it's good to see the correct quote. But anyway, it goes on. This bloke, Mr. Bumby, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to drag you, fellow Twitch streamer. Meant to say humans, but wrote humana and then blamed it on autocorrect. In what context would humana ever come up in autocorrect? Exhale CO2, cars exhale CO2. Ergo, I have a 2018 Mercedes AMG GT 4-door coupe. Hello, Chilled Mellow, how you doing? So, the attack helicopter joke, right? This is the attack helicopter joke. Jacinta goes off at him. And then I say, sincerely doubt that, yeah, sorry, must have missed the class about autocorrect. I say, sincerely doubt that's autocorrect. As to why you thought your archaic and degrading remark on my post was necessary by any stretch of the imagination, that's a whole other mystery. Drag the bigot till Road Rash gets jealous. Got the whole squad laughing. All of his friends are laughing, just off camera. We'll take a look at that news in just a moment. I'll get the link up and we'll come back to it. Good, it's already muted. Anyway. Your post itself is a degrading remark. Please do elaborate how me asserting myself is in any way degrading. Your post is degrading to women and the struggles they are dealing with. I support the trans community. Bullshit. As I have trans friends. They always have trans friends, for the record. But I don't support people making themselves as the other sex, marking themselves as the other sex biologically, as it is factually impossible no matter how many procedures you go through. Again, literally, my brain, which is a part of my biology, tells me I'm a woman, ergo biological woman. That was the point that was being made there. What struggles am I mocking with that post? You mark yourself as a biological woman, which you are not. You are privileged. Oh yeah, I've got so much privilege. Don't get me wrong, I certainly do have privileges, but I have lost quite a few of them, buddy. Listen, you will never have to worry as much as women about period cramps, rape, lower pay, breast cancer. You are a trans woman, which is highly respectable. The fuck does that even mean? Don't get me wrong. And then Jordan follows up with this. Incorrect. Employment stability and opportunity dropped significantly. My risk of breast cancer, osteoporosis, etc. increased with hormone change, and my risk of assault, harassment, and rape increased statistically. I don't cramp, true, but I'm close to menopause age anyway, so... Yeah, and I quote tweeted this, and then, like, we had the cavalry fucking showed up. You're an insulting piece of trash. Trans women are women. Those you don't have to worry comments are not coming across how you think. Are you implying trans women don't get raped? Fuck you. Don't try and backhand compliment her. Yeah, the backhanded compliment's really weird. But yeah, we had Sir Caitlin come out. Madam Scoville, there you are. You came out as well. Period cramps happen on progesterone, which some women take. Trans women take. Trans women are sexually assaulted at a disproportionate rate. I don't know about pay because I'm on disability pension, but even cis men can get breast cancer. Put down the pipe, it's making you paranoid and stupid. Also, neurology is part of biology, so the term biological woman applies. Ginge butts in. Trans people can be raped, can get breast cancer, and most certainly face lower pay, at least statistically even. You know. Quite a few trans people are probably not going to get hired because they're trans people. Too much of a brand risk. As a biological female who had a hysterectomy before I was 30 due to adenomyosis, shut the fuck up about cramps. A uterus doesn't make a woman a woman. This ain't the take you think it is, bud. And we got some simping. And then I quote tweeted it, and I added my own little addendum here. Reducing women to her biological functions or the social problems that affect them is not only transphobic but blatantly misogynistic. Furthermore, trans women can experience periods. For those who don't know, women, like as has been mentioned by others, trans women who are on medications such as estrogen and progesterone can experience period-like symptoms, so the cramps and other symptoms that are commonly associated with periods. They just don't bleed out of their urethra, for example, which is not where it comes from, but that's just, you know, the only hole down there in that circumstance. Trans women are very likely to get raped and murdered, in fact, because there is the whole situation around the trans panic situation. If a man happens to have either had sex with or raped a trans woman, he has that trans panic response. What if my friends find out I fucked a tranny? And then goes and kills her. Please consider that. Trans women find it harder to even find employment, let alone equal pay. Trans women can develop breast cancer, and, you know, trans women started out as males, generally speaking, and males can develop breast cancer. So that's not an argument. Literally none of the points made are accurate. So yeah, that was our little debacle, our little Twitter debacle. Which was just so bizarre. The first thing that really strikes me is that this person went out of their way to goad me on my... Sorry, hang on a second. I've got my slippers on and they're making me sweat. Okay, we'll talk about the panic thing in just a second. But anyway, it's like... Yeah, they goaded me into responding with their stupid joke. And I made the comment somewhere earlier on, which they quote tweeted and they deleted. But I posted this. Where is it? No. Where is it? Here we go. I tweeted this one, which he quote tweeted with lul, L-U-L, and then deleted his quote tweet. And I can't imagine being the kind of person that is genuinely so offended by pronouns in bio that they need to mention it in their bio. Like, pronouns are shorter than pronouns in bio suck, you little bitch. So if we go back to this guy, having pronouns in your Twitter bio is stupid. Look at, literally, it would be shorter to just not have that in there, you fucking wank stain. Anyway, don't follow him. I think someone actually might have unfollowed him as a result of that, because I seem to have a few mutual followers who are following that guy. Anyways, the panic defense. Let's talk about the panic defense. What happens is, in the case of someone having an interaction with an LGBTQ plus person that leads to them assaulting, raping, or murdering someone who happens to be queer, there is a legal defense wherein somebody can claim they experienced a panic because of their fear of that person being gay or trans or lesbian or whatever. Whatever excuse they can come up with to justify killing someone, generally speaking. But it's a defense that is legal to use But as far as I know, just because you can use that defense doesn't mean it's going to work in your favor. Like if you are faced with a manslaughter charge or a murder charge, you still have to be tried by a jury of your peers. And if your defense is the trans panic defense, the gay panic defense, whatever, then do you think they're going to take you seriously? Generally speaking, I don't think it's going to work. Doesn't get them off. It may reduce the sentence. Yeah, that too. And if I recall, Riley Grace Rochon recently actually got the panic defense banned in a certain state in the United States. That's one of the things she tends to work on, as far as I'm aware, is trying to completely obliterate the trans panic defense. And yeah, like in the case of the actual panic situation, in the case of the actual event, there is a staggering number of trans women who are murdered by their, let's just say their male sexual partners, who feel that they have been tricked or something of that nature by a trans woman and just, go fly into a rage and kill them because they think they've been misled by a man in a dress, a dude with tits kind of thing. So they think it's a justified killing, which it's not. It's just killing women. Which is, that specific circumstance is not something that's going to happen to cis women, generally speaking. I mean, yes, women do get killed by men, obviously, duh. But, the case of the man feeling like he's been betrayed because of genitals, or what have you. The defense is ridiculous given you have a panic disorder, and if you lash out at someone during attack, you're not given any real leniency. Yeah, all falls under the umbrella, exactly. So yeah, that whole situation, like, especially, like, all the points that he made, really, really just rubbed me the wrong way, because it's clear he came in with a bunch of loaded answers thinking he was going to be in the right and tried to play it off with that backhanded compliment situation, and ultimately just, completely fell flat on his face, which is hilarious. Ultimate moral lesson at the end of the day here is stop attacking trans people online and in person. If you have that opportunity, don't take it. Dude, why are you being so aggressive to trans people? Detroit, have a good one, friend. Yeah, this is the stupid thing, they had, at any point, they could have just stopped typing the tweet that they were typing to unnecessarily deride me, Trans rights, hashtag trans rights. Hey Plotsky, how's it going? What's going on? What's happening with you? What's the news? Excusez-moi. Ahoy, matey. Alright, let's have a look at this storyline here, this little news report here. US fuel pipeline hackers didn't mean to create problems. Actually, you know what? I did hear about this. I did hear about the phrase hackers, now that I've seen the phrase hackers. I do remember seeing something about this on Twitter. Excuse me. A cybercriminal gang that took a major US fuel pipeline offline over the weekend has acknowledged the incident in a public statement. Our goal is to make money and not creating problems for society, DarkSide wrote on its website. It didn't mean to, oopsie. The US issued emergency legislation on Sunday after Colonial Pipeline was hit by a ransomware cyber attack. The pipeline carries 2.5 million barrels a day, 45% of the East Coast supply of diesel, petrol, and jet fuel. The operator took itself offline on Friday after the cyber attack. Work to restore service is continuing. Yeah, like if they shut off service to this kind of thing, it's one of those situations where it's like, you can I think if I'm not mistaken, you can shut it down rather quickly, but getting it set back up again is an entire chore. Didn't mean to. Note to self, don't hire your... Which is, generally speaking, a pretty common thing for people who do hack. People who do commit hacking crimes are trying to get themselves a job. Like, look, I exposed some flaws in your security systems. Give me a job so I can fix them. On Monday, the FBI officially confirmed that DarkSide was responsible for compromising Colonial Pipeline's networks, saying that it was continuing to work with the firm and other government agencies on the investigation. During a speech about the economy at the White House on Monday, US President Joe Biden said that he was being personally briefed on the situation with the pipeline each day. The agencies across the government have acted quickly to mitigate any impact on our fuel supply, he said. We're prepared to take additional steps depending on how quickly the company is able to bring its pipeline back up to capacity. A number of cybersecurity researchers, including firms contacted by the BBC, have speculated that the cybercriminal gang could be Russian, as their software avoids encrypting any computer systems where the language is set as Russian. Mr. Biden said that the US government was concerned about this aspect of the cyber attack. I'm going to be meeting with President Putin, and so far there is no evidence based on our intelligence people that Russia is involved, he said. Although there's evidence that the actor's ransomware is in Russia, they have some responsibility to deal with this. DarkSide posted a statement on its website on Monday describing itself as apolitical. Newswoman Abby Truliata, thank you. Thank you kindly, I'm doing my best, y'all. There are already steps that have been taken by the US government. Turns out this US government reads the Oh No book. I love that comic where the punchline is just oh no every single time. It's fantastic. Webcomic name. This is the one. This artist is a bad person, but we can separate the art from the artist and still enjoy their work. Here is my new art called Me the Artist. Maybe this shows a creative impulse that will blossom into something profound in the future. This is my truth. Oh no. You have let me down. You're always putting your needs before the needs of others. I didn't do anything for myself either. Oh no. Just read that comic. That was fantastic. Oh, I could live just reading that comic. Anyway, we do not participate in geopolitics. We do not need to tie us with a defined government and look for our motives, the group said. The group also indicated it had not been aware that Colonial was being targeted by one of its affiliates, saying, from today we introduce moderation and check each company that our partners want to encrypt to avoid social consequences in the future. Oh, excuse me. In 5 we'll meet with 2 savage drop bears. And then we could get into, ransomware as a service. Impact on fuel prices. Relaxing and learning about the dramas of today. There's always drama, isn't there? There's a ton. There's always something. US fuel prices at the pump rose 6 cents per gallon on the week to $2.967 per gallon for regular unleaded gasoline, the American Automobile Association said on Monday, while Wall Street shares in US energy firms were up 1.5%. That's boring. What was the webcomic? Just up in chat, I've posted webcomicname.com. We've gotten into the boring part of the news, so... Anyways, I've got some more exciting news to come up in just a moment. We can take a break from the news for a second. This one's particularly interesting. I find, at least. You know, maybe you don't. I don't know. But we've got a few. I'm just going to open up all my links right now, so we've got them all available. Because there's quite a few things today. Including some LGBTQ news, which we love to do. Because I've noticed I'm skewing quite heavily towards being a queer-focused YouTuber. And I'd like to stay on top of that if I can. Just going to pause this because there is a video I would like to watch. 8 ways to entice the love life of your lesbian lover. Let's have a look at this actually. Let's start with this. This is not me content. This is Gravel Institute content. They've got a new video, Why American Education is Broken. I feel like this could be worth watching. Gravel Institute is good. Gravel Institute is based. So let's watch this real quick. Hang on, the tab is muted because I'm a dipshit. I didn't unmute the tab. Let's watch this for a second.
For decades, we've heard politicians and the media lambast public schools as failing and broken and denounce the corrupt teachers' unions for protecting lazy and bad teachers.
Staying on top of it, huh? Wait, what? It's broken. Oh, it's broken. It's very broken. I actually care a fair chunk about education in general because there are teachers in my family, and I dare say, I'm just going to draw a conclusion here. I'm probably going to be a teacher at some point. I have no aspiration to specifically become it, but I feel like it's almost a foregone conclusion for some reason. I get the suspicion at some point I'm going to be teaching in front of a classroom. I don't know why.
If you look at the statistics, that appears to be the case. You see a story of declining test scores and mediocre student performance. In 2018, the United States performed worse than Lithuania and Vietnam in mathematics on international testing. The antidote prescribed by the establishment experts is simple: privatization and deregulation. But what if they're wrong? What if the root causes plaguing our public schools are instead poverty, hypersegregation, and chronic disinvestment? What if we examine public schools not as isolated institutions, but within a larger...
I hate that you can see the screens in the studio in the reflection of his lenses. He needs some non-reflective lenses. I'd love to see an Abbey Professor teacher. Maybe if I can figure out getting some kind of backdrops, like some green screen backdrops that are like not green screen backdrops, but like printouts. I could get lights, and I think there is a screen as well. It looks like there might be a teleprompter. It's hard to tell. It's a reflection in his glasses, but anyway. There are backdrops I want to buy that would hang off my green screen mount that would look like an actual background. Like there's a printout of a little like desk officey area with the bookshelves and all that. You know? I mean, I like this backdrop here, but I would like to record some videos in front of various different backdrops to mix it up a little bit and to be able to like, maybe do different characters and things like that, because the green screen effect doesn't really work all that well. I'm shit with doing green screen. So, I would like to work on that at some point. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We'll discuss that later.
Political and economic context that deprives children, families, and their communities of basic livelihoods. In the late 1980s, renowned writer Jonathan Kozol barnstormed the country for 2 years, visiting and documenting his observations in schools in urban and suburban neighborhoods. Reporting from East St. Louis, he noted in his harrowing book, Savage Inequalities, that schools were overcrowded. Children did not have sufficient books, paper, computers, and other resources. Science labs were outdated by a half century. And improper heating made some classrooms free.
For a second there, I thought he said a half decade. Like, I know he said century, but in my head it just went to decade. I'm like, 5 years being outdated science lab isn't too bad. But no, he said half a century.
And others boil, sometimes reaching 100 degrees. As Kozol put it, one searches for some way to understand why a society as rich and frequently as generous as ours would leave these children in their penury and squalor for so long, and with so little public indignation. Contrary to popular belief, more than a quarter century later, public schools across the United States remain starved of resources. That's because the U.S. is unique in how it funds schools. School funding is determined largely by local property taxes, meaning that wealthy, largely white children are educated in gleaming palaces, while poor, Black, Latino, and Indigenous children are often confined to crumbling schools with crowded classrooms, zero-tolerance discipline, poorly paid teachers and staff, and lack of access to school nurses, librarians, and social workers.
Meritocracy, am I right? Totally works.
Consider a tale of two school systems. In rich, predominantly white Lower Merion, a suburb of Philadelphia, schools spend more than $26,000 per student. And just a few miles away, the diverse Philadelphia schools, which serve predominantly poor and working class children, spend less than $15,000 per student. This is a nationwide phenomenon. In 2016, majority minority school districts received $23 billion less in funding than majority white districts, despite serving the same number of students.
It's weird to hear the phrase majority minority. I know what he means. I'm sure you all know what he means as well, but it just clicked with me. Like when he said majority white, I'm like, he just said majority minority. I'm stupid. These are the things that click in my brain. Give me a dominatrix vibe, but an actual teacher. It's a weird term, but it does make sense. It's kind of like it cycles back to that Rose McGowan thing with the birthing people thing. It's like, you know what birthing people are. You put the two together and you draw the conclusion. In your head, you know what they're saying. So majority and minority means a majority of people in that district are minorities, is the term that's getting across. They're fucking rubbish. Only a few of us learn best when taught like that, and it's all it's really for is training us for 9-to-5 jobs that no longer exist. Exactly. Majority minority belong. Yeah, it does. System of a Down would fucking rip that. That'd be good. Are they still making new music? Anyway, neither here nor there. But yeah, like a lot of the public schooling system is definitely designed to get you ready for being a member of the workforce. And yeah, that workforce that they're training you for is not a thing that really exists anymore. And nowadays you're almost expected to go off to get a further qualification because school hasn't actually taught you the things you need to function in the society in which we live. There are so many things that should be taught in high school alone. Things like how to manage your taxes, more serious home economics kind of stuff. The amount of people I've met who've completed their HSC and have absolutely no idea how to take care of themselves, which could be can be a number of different contributing factors there. Or if it does, all those jobs are filled. Yeah, there's not enough jobs to begin with. The system's balked. Anyway. But this is America, which, is arguably demonstrably worse. Clara, hello, how you doing? Boy in a Band went viral with a song about all the stuff schools omit that matters more than what they currently teach. That might be a good idea to look at.
This is apartheid-style education. Instead of addressing these inequities, the federal government has doubled down.
Sorry to keep interrupting. I keep hearing the phrase apartheid, and at some point I'm going to need to find an explanation for what specifically it is. Anyways.
On a market-based approach. Private foundations, think tanks, and both Democratic and Republican officials have fought for a corporate makeover of the public education system. They champion austerity measures, high-stakes standardized testing, school closures, expansion of no-excuses charter schools, a weakening of teachers' unions, and stiff disciplinary methods. This has been the major approach of education reform for the last 2 decades. In 2001, the No Child Left Behind Act, signed into law by President George Bush, with bipartisan approval, imposed stringent testing measures for elementary and middle school students. Those schools that didn't make adequate annual progress risked being labeled as a failing school, having all or parts of its staff fired, shut down, converted into a charter school, taken over by the state, or privatized. Then there was a Race to the Top program, a $4 billion grant competition under the Obama administration. In order to qualify for federal education funding, states were required to adopt an ensemble of policies in their schools: performance-based teacher evaluations, more standardized tests, more charter schools, and more interventions in failing schools, closures, privatizations, and takeovers. Under the logic of the school reformers, superintendents get called CEOs. Schools in poor communities, especially Black, Latino, and Indigenous ones, are ranked, sanctioned, shut down, and turned over to private management based on student test scores. Teachers are fired and punished based on student performance, and their ratings are sometimes published in newspapers. Segregated charter schools are opened to create an educational free market to promote competition with public schools.
Fucking hell, that is just disturbing. That is fucking disturbing. Commercializing and commodifying a schooling system and turning it into free market capitalism. What the fuck, dude? Getting your second dose of Pfizer today? Fucking awesome. I still haven't been able to get my vaccine yet. System sucked. You wish you could have grown into the gym PE group because you'd love to bulk but nope, you hated the dudes in that clique. They were super Christian homophobes. Yeah, that wouldn't be a good environment to be in. Apartheid was a system of institutionalized racial segregation that existed in South Africa and Southwest Africa, now Namibia, from 1948 until the early 1990s. Apartheid was characterized by an authoritarian political culture based on bus cap or white supremacy, which ensured that South Africa was dominated politically, socially, and economically by the nation's minority white population. Oh, I see. Well, that explains it. Which is pretty much the conclusion I had drawn. But I hadn't really looked all that deep into it. But based on, what people have said about Elon Musk, for example, that kind of thing, it's like, oh, okay, I kind of knew, but it's good to have the formal description. Yeah, it's okay. Maybe drop it in the Discord. I'll watch it off stream just because I'm sketchy about watching anything that's a music video on stream. Back from doing the dishes, nice. Which means kids don't get educated properly because it's cheaper to half-ass it and count your cash. Exactly. Which is one of the major problems. You'd think, with all the problems that America has and other similar countries have, that they would focus on fixing these kind of problems, which could certainly remedy the entire situation. But no, they have to keep it competitive. They have to keep it capitalistic and entirely broken. We're watching Why American Education is Broken on the Gravel Institute.
New York City alone, more than 100,000 students, or 1 in 10 in the city, were homeless. About 34,000 of them came to school from homeless shelters. Millions more children across the U.S., about 15% of all children, live in poverty. It is one of the highest rates in the industrialized world. That rate is far above the 4% figure in Scandinavian countries. Former Secretary of Education Arne Duncan once said that it is opportunity, not poverty, that shapes children's destiny. But we know the effects of poverty on children: malnutrition, stunted development, mental illness, and low academic achievement. If the corporate school reformers were really committed to making life better for the poorest children in our country, they would stop making such asinine comments and declare, as educator Kenzo Shibata once said, poverty shouldn't be, period. It's not
Based. That's fucking based. Poverty shouldn't be, period. Yes.
actually that hard to imagine what is necessary to transform the lives of the most vulnerable. It doesn't require more charter schools or more standardized testing. Rather, in line with other countries, we could guarantee an unconditional sum of $250 a month per child per family to pay for diapers, food, clothing, and other child care costs. This measure alone would cut the child poverty rate by 40% and slash deep poverty in half. It would be the most substantive expansion of the social safety net for children in the modern history of the United States. If we are to guarantee an equitable public education worthy of the dignity of all children, there is no better place to begin than waging an assault on the moral scandal of child poverty in the wealthiest nation in the history of the world. I'm Nikhil Goyal, sociologist and PhD candidate at the University of Cambridge for the Gravel Institute.
There we go. What do you think? What are our thoughts? Republicans will always say, well, how do we pay for it? Taxes. You tax the wealthy and you put the money that comes from the taxes towards the rest of society that doesn't have the privilege that the upper class has. You tax the wealthy, you tax the rich people, you tax the people that have got a lot of money, and you put the taxes towards the social programs that help uplift everyone and give them opportunities and give them a better quality of living. That's how that works. But they don't want the taxes to go to that, do they? No. So they fight against it. That's my thought anyway. Yes, capitalism always devalues human life. Poverty is a symptom of a capitalistic society, quite frankly. It's encouraged by capitalism, poverty is. You know, the notion that you need to strive as hard as you can to be as much of a contributing member to society as you possibly can in order to be eligible to not live in poverty, essentially. They want the taxes to go to killing brown people, yes indeed, which is why the US supports Israel. It's a bleeding heart capitalist take cutting child poverty by 40% isn't enough. Oh yeah, that's just a start. That's just a start. Let's just return to a simpler time when communism was a thing. Well, the thing is, I've heard speculation, and maybe I'm wrong, but there are many people who speculate. No, I shouldn't say many people. There are a few people I've seen who speculate that there has never been a proper communist nation, not according to the way that Marx and Engels wrote about it. Which I don't know all of world history. I don't know all of the countries in the world, so I can't verify that justifiably. Biden is going to drop the commie bill in 2022. America's skipping socialism, going straight to hardcore communism. Hello, Hellfire. How you going? A true communist nation wouldn't have a central government. Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. It's like everyone who complains about communist and socialist nations fail to realize that those nations are not truly communist or socialist. But then you say that, and it becomes the no true Scotsman fallacy. You know, it becomes a gatekeepy kind of thing. How do we define what is true communism? What is true socialism? I don't know about socialism specifically. Specifically, I can talk. But the Communist Manifesto quite clearly outlines what communism is. So if we had a proper communist society, it would align perfectly with those communist values outlined by Marx and Engels. Anyways, we wouldn't have to tax as much if we got rid of loopholes, tax havens, etc. We could probably do it all with 15%, yeah. A lot of the attempts to turn communist turn dictatorship. Exactly. And that's the thing with fascists, right? They go from attempts at communism or socialism into fascism very quickly. Hello, Hellfire Acid Face. What's up? We're talking stuff. We're talking communism, apparently. Will there be recreational drugs in this communist country? Fuck yes, there will be. You know what annoys me? I saw a post by, I think it was Ian Miles Chong, who posted about somebody, if we decriminalize all the hardcore drugs, we're going to be seeing people like this woman who's overdosing on heroin, laying on the sidewalk, vomit, like in a pool of her own vomit or whatever. She's passed out on the concrete. It's like, that's what's happening right now in a world where all those hardcore drugs are criminalized and they're not regulated and people are not able to control their addictions. Because in the capitalist society in which we live, that's already a problem. It reminds me of the situation with the Black Lives Matter protests in, I think it was actually around about, because the protests went for quite some time across America. I want to say there was a tweet around November. I forget who posted it, but they're like, this is what Biden's America is going to look like. And they posted a video of protests happening and, yes, legitimate riots happening, violence between protesters and police in Trump's America. They posted footage of things that were happening in Trump's America and used it as propaganda against the Biden administration. Completely detached. Nederland Gatpog. You love my nails? I'm quite fond of them, honestly. They do need a retouch. They're chipping a little bit, but they do look nice. Thank you kindly. I'm quite fond of it. Yeah, congratulations. You played yourselves. You fucking idiots. You like my nails? Self-aware wolves, yeah. On the on the subject of self-aware wolves. I mean, this isn't really quite specifically. Well, it kind of is. This is kind of relevant. Tommy Lauren. This weekend, people threw eggs at me and called me Nazi Barbie. Oh, fucking. At least she got free eggs. Speaking with Fox News Radio's Jimmy Filer this Monday, Fox Nation host Tommy Lauren said she had a rough weekend. Just this past weekend, I had 2 incidents, Lauren said. I had a girl from the 6th floor of an apartment complex try to throw eggs at me. Of course, get this bit. Hang on, you can't read it. Being a liberal, she's not super athletic, so she missed me. But yes, she tried to throw eggs at me. Really, dude? Fucking really, dude? Being a liberal, she's not super athletic. What the fuck does that mean? You Nazi Barbie? Anyway. Yesterday, I had a grown man with a cigarette in hand and a mask on his face. Oh no, how dare he have a mask on his face. Telling me once again that I'm Nazi Barbie and telling me that I dance on the graves of Native Americans. Well, you kind of do. I mean, the left has become so emboldened now that where it used to be for me, people just people attacking me on social media. Now they're doing what Maxine Waters said and they're getting more confrontational because they believe they have this free pass, and I'm concerned it's only going to get worse for all of us. Oh, God, the reason people attack you dumb bitch, is because you say some of the outright stupidest shit anyone's ever said. That's why. Anyway. This chubby cheeks bit needs to not throw rocks in her glass house. Yeah, generalizing much. Tommy explaining exactly why she got eggs thrown at her. Left-leaning ass could run rings around Nazi Barbie. Asthma be damned. Oh, that's ridiculous. It's so stupid. They so desperately want to be oppressed too. Republicans. They so desperately want to be oppressed. They want to be the targeted minority when the reality of the situation is they're just being, people are generally speaking calling them out on their bullshit. Social media has been a tremendous toxic plague upon the world. Let's be real here. But the good thing about social media is it has given us an outlet through which we can communicate our ideas to these people who are controlling the mainstream media that we consume. So now there are tons and tons of people, anytime anyone posts a tweet, if it's someone like Tommy Lauren, or Tommy Lauren, however you pronounce it, if it's someone like her, then yes, of course you're going to get harassed in the comments because more often than not, she's saying dumb fucking shit on a massive platform to a huge audience. Huge audience. Sorry, I got spit stuck in my mouth. To a huge audience. And, that's a massive shift from where media used to be, where you'd watch TV. You'd read the newspaper. You'd listen to the radio. At best, you could call into a radio show. You know, that's a thing that you could do, possibly. But by and large, people didn't have a significant amount of interaction with the personalities, the talking heads, that were always giving them social ideas, political ideas, telling them what to think. Nowadays, we've got a lot of people, literally free-thinking individuals, you know, actual free-thinking individuals who are critical of these thoughts and are able to form a platform of their own and rebuke a lot of these points. And then when something like eggs getting thrown at you, or being called Nazi Barbie happens, it's a result of people seeing those ideas and informing themselves and saying, hey, maybe I shouldn't listen to this person because the ideas they are espousing on a mainstream level are actually pretty bad, pretty wrong, and they are a detestable person for saying those things, and informing the public of basically flagrant falsehoods about reality. You know. We were talking about Tomi Lahren, Loki. Yeah, I get my info from the news, I get it from Facebook sources, that's why I'm not getting the vaccine. They used to tell us what opinions to have, now we can tell them where to stick theirs. Precisely. And it's not as though society didn't have people who were rebuking what the news said. There's always been people who have been staunchly against whatever it is the news says and having their own opinions on the political spectrum and things like that. But the narratives that you were widely able to access were always tightly controlled by corporations and things of that nature who had a narrative they wanted to push. And the advent of the internet and social media and all these kinds of things. And don't get me wrong, as we mentioned yesterday, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook were suppressing pro-Palestine content on their platforms according to a glitch that conveniently affected, I think it was Instagram and Twitter, not Instagram and Facebook, that conveniently affected Instagram and Twitter, both of them kind of simultaneously. So the social media platforms under which we currently operate do still have a significant amount of potential for censorship, but it seems to be broadly a lot more open, generally speaking, which is why a lot of people have got a lot of skepticism around the idea of major multinational corporations being the primary source of media. And thus there's that whole thing of like, we need to reevaluate what free speech means. And this is my personal take on it. I know there are some pretty leftist people who've had takes on free speech and what we could define it to mean in the modern age. But my personal opinion is, these kinds of major corporations do need to be severely regulated so that in a way, we don't end up with... subscribe to what... I swear is that YouTube again? I swear I turned that off. Anyway, nifty glitches, exactly. So yeah, I do think, corporations like Facebook, who also controls Instagram conveniently, and companies like Twitter and all these kinds of things, there does need to be some kind of regulation there to prevent, people who are in control of these major corporations which have worldwide influence and power, right? Twitter is all over the world, Facebook's all over the world. From suppressing certain ideas. And this is the issue we come across, is like, if we're only suppressing Nazi ideology, which we should be, then there's also the potential for suppressing Marxist ideology, similarly, just as an example. There's always that potential for things to go horribly awry. That was a YouTube sub. I swear I turned that. I don't know why that's still on. I turned that on anyway. For me, free speech means you can say anything, but I get to punch you in the mouth if what you say is hateful, hurtful, or otherwise harmful. Yeah, that would be the ideal scenario, and we do see it happen, like we mentioned before with Tomi Lahren. When she says this or that on Twitter, she gets bombarded with comments either correcting her or outright calling her a fascist or whatever. And that's really, arguably, that marketplace of ideas concept. You take a huge number of voices who are able to, I guess that's really the ultimate ratio, isn't it? Is if you've got a whole, not, a lot of people liking a certain tweet that debunks you, which is, I suppose, one way to go about it. But, if you've got tons and tons of comments just directly contradicting everything you just said and pointing out, hey, you're a dipshit, that is one of the positive things of the social media aspect of society today. I need more water. Plenty of Nazis do get decked in the schnoz, and we love it every single time. If you're attacking someone for something that they literally cannot do anything about, you deserve a smack. Yeah, exactly. Which is something a lot of right-wingers tend to do in terms of these kinds of discussions. That was a tirade. Where the fuck did that come from? Internet needs its own form of public access channels, but when the people who host websites can deny you, it's not looking the best. Yeah, precisely. Romeo, let's do some Yomeo. Yeah, some Yomeo. When you're Yomeo. Alright. Let's do it this way. How about to make... not that one. That one. Hello. We're over here now. We're on the other one. On the other camera, because I got 2 cameras, because I'm based and pog and camera pilled. Daddy yo-yo. Look at my yo-yo skills. Mate. I am a pro-yo at yo-yo. See, I can kind of like do something. I don't know what that was. That was bad. That's what that was. We're yo-yoing right now. Oh. Let's fucking go. Us. I don't know how much yo-yo I'm supposed to do, for the record. I have no clue how much of this I am supposed to fiddle around with when you redeem this. We haven't really set rules for this. We haven't set any ground rules down. Your dad started watching a news channel worse than OAN. It's called America's Real Voice News. It's called Newsmax? Wait, isn't OAN Onion? Oh, no, hang on. Wait, what's... No, Onion is ONN. Onion News Network. I thought you were like making a joke about how, you know, someone who actually seriously takes the someone who takes the Onion seriously would be a bit dumb. America's Real Voice News. What the fuck is America's Real Voice News? Please tell me. Even the most reprehensible people deserve the right to some form of platform, even if they don't understand the whole consequences of their actions. Yes, like I think this is the issue we have. You know, we don't want to platform Nazi voices. But at the same time, if we start segregating people off to different social media, I don't take yo-yo seriously. I barely do this at all. Like, I just know how to do this. That's about it. I could probably learn some tricks, honestly. I could spend some time learning some tricks, but am I gonna? Probably not. But anywho's, coming back to this for a second. There's a thing we can do, though. There's a fun little thing we can do. Try watching 30 seconds without raging. Stepmom has posted articles from The Onion in full seriousness. Oh no. Oh goodness. I got points. How many points did I get? Oh, hang on. Sorry, I gotta be an asshole. Actually, this is the thing. Is like I usually take a break in about 5 minutes time. I was thinking of taking the break early and running an ad roll now. Because I forgot pre-rolls are off at the moment. Tricks in the future would be cool, true. The Onion is becoming more and more difficult to discern from satire, and further into dystopia we go. Into dystopia we go. Exactly. Okay. So, I won't read another story just yet. Let's have a look at America's Voice News. Alright, let's have a gander at this for a sec. We'll pause the music we've got going on. Is this muted? No.
Struggled with.
All right.
We forget about New Mexico. He also
come back, dude. Go back to the beginning of the fucking video. What is this dog shit video player? Holy fuck! Do you want people to watch your content? Because I literally can't do it because your video player is shit. Look at this. I'm trying to drag it back, and it keeps going back. What the fuck, dude? I can't. It's live. What? No, this is 1 minute and 5.
Americans can go to
what the fuck?
Misspoke. Their zip code. Text it to 438829. Let me say it again.
Help us, ladies and gentlemen. Help us. So
I thought it was no, it's not live. What is it? Biden has fucked USA royally. I think it was already fucked royally. Biden didn't do anything. Biden's playing catch up with America already being fucked up.
That's our presidential leadership.
So it is like okay. It must be because it's like changing the time here, the timestamp here. That's fucking confusing. Anyway, WHO knew but denied allegations about sexual misconduct by male staffers in Congo. U.S. House Republicans expected to oust Liz Cheney from top party leadership. Why are his eyes running away from each other? Where is your jaw? Oh my god. I don't usually advocate mocking people's appearance, but he is a Republican, so who cares? It's National Twilight Zone Day and Tasty Tuesday. What else is on here? This website fucking sucks. I hate it already. Good lord, it's laid out terribly. Real America's Voice news shows. So what? What? Anyway. Yeah, wow, he stumbled on a sentence. He's so stupid and senile. Look at this idiot who can't get a sentence out. How dare he? 78-year-old man. Did they listen to how Trump was speaking when he was president? And yeah, the man has stuttered his whole life. He has a speech impediment, which, you know, they just love to mock the mentally ill, honestly. Well, not mentally ill, but they love to mock anyone who's deviant is the thing that Republicans do. Anyone who's heavily right-leaning has a tendency to mock the deviant, which is the idea of someone who is not a perfect little ideal in society, right? If you don't sync up perfectly with what society expects of you, yeah, deviant equals not white, cis, het, able, Christian as well. Which, you know, the deviant situation can extend to other countries as well, but, you know, without being within the context of those countries, it's difficult to specifically discern. But the idea of deviance, of course, is there's a certain acceptable group in a society, and then anyone who falls outside of that is typically derided for falling outside of that. Wonder how fucked Trump would sound if you were stoned. You're right-leaning and bi, though. Trust me, they still have a tendency to take people on the right, especially certain personalities. Milo Yiannopoulos, Blair White, as two stellar examples. Caitlyn Jenner at the moment. They have a tendency to take a few deviants on, a few what they would typically call undesirables, generally speaking, to make it seem like they're more accepting than they really are. It's a matter of convenience for all parties, generally speaking. Anyways, it is now 10:30. We're going to take our break now. I'm going to run my ad break so we can get our get the money that I should be getting from subscribers, but anyway, whatever. $5 a month for the record. BRB, folks, don't go away. If you are seeing an ad, hit that sub button. I'll be back in just a moment. Are you seriously telling me nobody commented on the fact that the Be Right Back screen says eat my entire ass? You lazy bastards. What are you doing? Thank you, Hellfire Acid Face, for the sub. You fucking legend. Please grab yourself a drink and sit down in the subscriber lounge. Wherever the hell that is. It's somewhere within the establishment. It's a mystery. You have to find it. It wasn't there long, true. The UK seems pretty neat, except for trans people, generally speaking. Trans tag now. Yes, let's do trans tag now. Trans folks are pretty neat, though. Cloudy skies, welcome to the Rogue Room. It ain't no cannibal. True. True. There we go. The more deviants they can coerce over makes them look respectable, but don't think for a second they won't chuck you under the bus as soon as they've outlawed the rest of us. Yes, that is the point that I was trying to make. Hello, Solace. How you doing? How you doing, Cloudy? Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make with the deviants thing. Like Milo Yiannopoulos saying he's no longer gay. That's a fucking lie. That's a flagrant lie to try to pander to Republicans. I don't believe for a second he's no longer gay. But he's trying to push the narrative that conversion therapy works, which is a point that conservatives love. Which in the UK they just recently outlawed conversion therapy, which is good. You know, based POG. Conversion therapy doesn't work. It's just an abuse tactic. And yeah, when you have people on the right wing who are generally speaking deviants, their point is to play the role of someone who's, you know, look, I'm from this group of people. I'm from the deviants. I'm one of the good ones. And I support these things, so why shouldn't you? I support these particular kind of policies or whatever. Can you be converted into being a straight woman? Well, no, not. You know, your sexuality isn't something you get to choose. You know, UK not friendly towards trans people. They call it Turf Island. They did ban conversion therapy yesterday, thankfully. So there's a bit of progress there, but there's been a vast majority of TERF rhetoric at the moment is coming exclusively from the UK, and it's spreading. Like right now, there's a ton of transphobic stuff going on in the United States, which fortunately it seems like the United States is, you know, barracking against, thankfully. But yeah, a lot of the transphobic narrative right now spreads from the UK by and large. For example, people like J.K. Rowling, you know, spreading transphobic ideas, Maya Forstater, Graham Lennon, and other faces in the conversation. And that influences public opinion. Folks are fine, the system isn't. Anyway, the United States fucking sucks. It does. Not a fan. I wouldn't move there if I was given the opportunity. Could we raid Lexi? Is it still Lexi? Or is it Doe now? Could we raid? We could raid Doe if they're live, yeah? If they're still live when I finish. I shouldn't be that much longer, honestly, like an hour and a half. So, and yeah, trans youth are under attack in the US. And I'm worried that kind of transphobic stuff will come to Australia. But like we mentioned before, Scott Morrison's a pithy little bitch. So he won't do anything. But yeah, if Doe's streaming later, yeah, absolutely, we can raid him. her. The NHS is woefully under-resourced in general. Doe now, okay. The NHS is woefully underfunded because of 40 years of Tory or Tory-like rule. How do you pronounce her stream name? Exiliax. How do you pronounce that? The OH government is trying to ban trans people from playing sports with the gender they identify, saying the slur will have an edge. Jesus. What is the slur specifically? Because there's a few I can think of. By the way, somebody should gift 8 subs so we hit my sub goal of 150. That's what you should do. Someone should do that. If you are not already subscribed to the Rogue Room, to Rogue BX, I suppose, you get some fancy dancy emotes. You get to skip out on the ad breaks. And if you subscribe at tier 2, you also get this one. I think. Is this one it? Is this the tier 2? And I can yo-yo. Yeah, I can do some yo-yo tricks if you want me to do some yo-yo tricks. You get more channel points, which means you can make me do more yo-yo tricks. Anywho's, the T-slur. Jesus Christ. Gonna start a war with trans haters. Do it! Literally nobody knows how to pronounce it. So wait, what's only like $100? Oh, still, yeah, a certain amount of income to pay for certain things. Comes down to a matter of priorities, I suppose. Grey market HRT. Oh, okay, yeah, that would be difficult. That would be very difficult. It comes down to a measure of like, A, you know, it's arguably illegal, and B, is it worth the cost? And it's very, very not just poor, you're UK poor. Yeah, exactly. Which, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish I could help everybody. You know, I do wish I could help everybody. But I'm just one little witchy bitch, sadly, who's struggling to make ends meet herself. On top of trying to study and not having a stable, legitimate job. It's great. It's a good situation the world's in right now. Capitalism totally works for a few of us. Everyone's like, capitalism is the best system, completely disregarding all the people who are grossly negatively affected by it. Yeah, for very, very few of us. And very, very few of those are trans people, on top of that. Anyway, I'm not quite sure how to read this particular... A recent UN report found 20% of the UK is below the poverty line. Jesus. I'm not quite sure how to read into this, into this particular title, but I think you get the sentiment behind it. Drag streamer reads elf cosmetics to filth. See that part there, like reads to filth. I guess it means after disastrous, offensive Twitch makeup stream. Beauty brand Elf Cosmetics, which I use Elf Cosmetics because they're cheap and they're readily available. Oops. Has been slammed for a Twitch stream that lacked diversity. Elf-U claims to be the first gaming beauty brand, empowering female gamers and content creators. To drag, okay. The stream on the 9th of May featured Twitch streamers Loserfruit and Autumn to promote the brand and give away voucher codes. The brand is committed to diversity, to inclusivity and diversity in order to combat male dominance in the streaming world. However, the stream has been heavily criticized for failing to represent the wealth of diversity on Twitch. Excuse me. Throughout the stream, the speakers referred only to females who game rather than the more inclusive term women. Yeah, gross. Don't call them females. And ignored trans people, non-binary people, drag queens, or men who may want to wear makeup. Non-binary people were eventually mentioned, but only in passing. There were also comments in chat calling for the brand to include more women of color in their campaign as they focus solely on white streamers. However, these comments were completely ignored. What's more, a lack of moderation in the chat meant there was plenty of racism and misogyny. Who can be surprised by Twitch chat these days, honestly? Clips of the event include 2 white streamers discussing the difficulty of finding the correct makeup shades without referring to a diversity of skin tones. Yikes. What's more, brands such as Gamer Glam Cosmetics have already been working in the gaming and makeup space. Elf are not the first. You know what's upsetting? $1 million company can come in and say they are the first makeup gaming company to wipe my existence as a black woman trying to showcase real representation for everyone in this brutal gaming industry. 3 years gone. Yeah, it was a few white girls which kind of left everyone else out. Do I have to watch RuPaul? I'm not a fan of drag, honestly. Yeah, we could have a bit of a discussion around how the idea of Drag Race has honestly poisoned some people's idea of what trans people are. Anyway, the Focus on Gaming also ignores the wealth of other streamers on Twitch who stream different types of content, like yours truly, even though I do stream games on Fridays, but that's not the point. Since the stream, many streamers have taken to Twitter to voice their disappointment. In a long thread, drag streamer Lucille summarized many of the issues of the stream. Honestly, Elf Cosmetics, this Twitch stream was incredibly offensive. All jokes aside, the fact that you couldn't find not one single black woman focused only on women, despite the fact that more than just females used makeup and didn't prepare anything, is embarrassing. You literally are purposefully ignoring the black streamers in chat who have asked for more diversity. You didn't have a mod to protect the chat. After the stream, streamer Fasfi, who has partnered with Elf, was criticized for pulling up Twitter accounts on Steam of those who spoke out against the brand. Oh no. Oh no. This type of tone-deaf, clueless people Elf Cosmetics decided to send their PR to. I won't waste my time explaining someone that has no range understand why the launch was a flop for black and POC creators in this space. What happened? Let's... Oh, hang on. Stop for a second. Stop for a second. Get back. I've got the page muted. Hang on.
The event has no... I gotta do it.
Let's have a look here. What's this?
Can we just talk about how dumb this is? She's saying the event has no diversity just because it didn't include any black women?
Oh.
Is she blind? Like the DJs were of other diversities? I gotta do it.
Madam, I do believe you didn't do that whole segment correctly. Do you want to give it another crack? Good lord. Anyways, many other streamers have spoken out against Elf, creating more of a discussion than the event itself. Yeah, what was that? That was fucking weird. Yeah, the DJs were... that didn't appear on camera. Hello, chap. How's it going? Respectfully spamming this in the Elf Cosmetics chat. Don't put out a tweet asking for all the awesome creators in the space and then totally ignore the women of color. Working with all women in gaming, listen to them in your chat right now. Ask CM, can we please see more women of color featured in your activations? If you're only working with white women, you're not covering the breadth of women in gaming you think you are. I've been sitting on this all day and trying to find the words for what happened in the beauty industry. All I'll say is this. Elf Cosmetics, if you cannot use your platform to invoke inclusivity or change, you don't need a fucking platform. Really handed myself to Elf Cosmetics on a silver platter just to be ignored. And as a black male who does makeup, something that society always demeans and vilifies, it was really rough coming just to see a sea of white women not knowing shit about makeup. Do way better, Elf Cosmetics. Unshockingly, Elf Cosmetics failed to respond to a request for comment. Yeah, that's someone who's never had to face this kind of thing before and has no idea how to deal with it. Exactly. That response is from someone who's, you know, sitting on a nice little pedestal for the entire duration of this kind of thing and has never been faced with this kind of criticism before. Can we see more trans women in the platform in general? Yeah, exactly. La la la, we're not listening. Please go away. Yeah, the DJs that didn't appear on camera. Oh, God. Completely missing the point. Completely just flagrantly missing the point. And yeah, Elf Cosmetics has not addressed it at all as far as I'm aware. Not even just with regards to... not even just with regards to... you know, responding to Pink News. I don't think they've even responded on, like, Twitter or anything like this. Let's have a look right here. Give Abby the promotional upgrades. Give me some more space on this platform. Massive beauty company does a racism? Shocking. So here we go. We are excited to find the first 7 members of our Elf U gaming squad. We'd love for you to participate by posting a video of your game up on TikTok by using the hashtag ElfGameUp and the GameUp audio. Learn more here. Honestly, why would I bother? For a trans woman, sticking my hand up for this just feels humiliating at this point. You've made no indication that you're looking for a diverse set of gamers, so it feels like I have zero chance. Excuse me. Not a good look for these posts to be going up without addressing the severe lack of inclusivity with the launch of the whole program, especially when it was called out by a ton of people in the streaming space. Y'all are digging yourself into a deeper hole here. This is the most engagement Elf Cosmetics has had on here in ages, but considering how out of touch they seem to be, they probably don't even know what ratio means, or that it's not good. Look at how they've been totally ratioed. Yikes. Have you considered, instead of asking for more engagement, acknowledging your lack of interest in diversifying your Game Up campaign? I'd tag the black creators who expressed interest, but you already know who they are because you intentionally passed over them. Yeah, this is... a lot of people are absolutely boycotting Elf Cosmetics at the moment, and I will be reconsidering my own purchasing... what's it called? My own purchasing habits with regards to makeup. I'm probably going to have to find a new brand to get my contour and highlight from. I think those are Elf brand. I'm not sure. I've certainly got a few... products over there that are from Elf, and yeah, the main issue there is that they're the cheapest brand. They're the one that's just the most affordable, so they're easily available. Yeah, it's a dollar store brand. I get it at Kmart. You know, the kind of products I pay like $4 to $6 for certain products, which would be $20 in other brands, which makes the whole issue for me personally. It's like, if I want to boycott this, I might as well just stop wearing makeup in general, honestly. And there were a few people making jokes about, all of my Elf products, I forget who said this. I will get this out of the way right now. I do, support the idea of a boycott of the brand because of their clear lack of paying attention to this whole thing. But one of the things that I do take umbrage with is the people making jokes about, I'm going to throw away all my Elf products. And in my opinion, you shouldn't do that, because they already have your money for that product, so what's the point in throwing it away? It's just needlessly wasteful. Now, by all means, go and ask people for opinions on other types of products that you can buy, but don't just chuck them out. That's incredibly stupid. And yeah, wasteful, unnecessary. You can't really donate makeup because, it's a contamination risk. But say, for example, you had a piece of clothing and you found out the brand of that clothing was unethical, like most clothing brands on the entire planet, then you might want to donate that, for example. But chucking out cosmetics and all this kind of stuff, just blatantly, wantonly wasting things, not on. Don't do it. Elf, more like shelved. Haha, got him. At any rate, at the end of the day, yeah, it does look like Elf Cosmetics is suffering the brunt of it at the moment and refusing to address it, which is a bad look. Not something you should be... It's very not Pog. Honestly, it's very not Pog. Wouldn't recommend buying from them anymore as a result of this. Pretty bad. Pretty bad, honestly. Oh, but there we have that. That's that whole discussion there. All clothes in many ways got controversies, and it's just like there's no control, yeah. Yeah, this is the issue with, like, generally speaking, honestly, this is one of the issues with going vegan as well. I've mentioned this a few times. I'd like to go vegan, but there are cheap options, but the food's boring. And, yeah, again, like, if you want to go ethical with clothing, a lot of the brands are very expensive. If you want to boycott certain brands, you look for alternatives. The alternatives are very expensive. Boycotting is an expensive thing to do. There are a lot of people who do not have the opportunity to do so. The only way, thrifting is an idea. Thrifting is certainly an idea that you can pursue, most definitely. I got my little butterfly knife thing here. Give me all your genders. Anyway, but yeah, like, I know a lot of the clothes I have are very unethically sourced. There's not much I can do about that, because if I wanted to buy the more expensive clothes all the time, I'd buy one new piece of clothing a year. Vegan is cheap if you don't value your time at all. Yeah. I'm a broke gay and you're a lesbian with a budget. Exactly. We ain't got time for this shit. Nice butterfly knife. You only have a karambit. I'm getting a Kubaton, which is going to go on my keyring because it's an actual self-defense measure. This is just to play with. Because I do not... I don't know what a karambit is. What's a karambit? This is called a What's it called? The actual name for it is a barley song. Anyway, I bought one of these things as a self-defense measure, which are because, you know, we had the incident recently. Bought one of these things to put on my keyring, because I'm just, you know, now I'm fucking terrified that someone is going to try to harass me again. Let's have a look at a karambit. Oh, one of those. They're cool. They're cool. There's a place near me that does knives, and they've got stuff similar to this, I think. Not this exact kind of thing, but that looks cool. Also, the store that I usually go to look at swords, like fake replica swords, they had a fucking cool scimitar in there today. Nearly $300, but pretty solid make. Obviously a replica, obviously blunted blade, but like, dude, a scimitar. I was like, holy shit. I think it was a scimitar or a similar weapon. No, maybe not quite a scimitar. Something much more curved than that, but very similar to it. And I'm like, dude, am I getting in trouble with cops? Probably, which is what I worry about. Is like, I'm not allowed to have something to defend myself in the case of, sorry if this is annoying you, Chinese broadsword. Let me have a look. It might be. Srod. Your genders all your life. No, not that one. A Dao, a Falchion maybe? Yeah, it wasn't this one. What's that? We're just gonna look at swords. Not a Falchion, but I do want one of those. They're fucking cool. They're awesome. Buy swords at the Ren Fair. I wonder if there are Ren Fairs near me. That'd be cool. I'd like to go to one of those. Wearing this thing. Check me out, mate. Even though it's not relevant to the Renaissance, but Holy Clothing does do Renaissance stuff. A cutlass. Hello, Bun Bun. How you going? At the most sapphic of times. Was very similar to a cutlass. Yeah, I could see that. I think it might have... didn't have the same kind of handle, though. If I can get back there really soon, I will take a photo and I'll show you. Because I really want it, but $270 is a bit of a steep price. If somebody wants to buy it for me, you can. It's a Ren Fair and you stay each year and you wonder if it'll be open this year. It's usually in the fall. I do want a Claymore. Let's make a list of the swords that I do want, alright? Let's do an activity together, shall we? So, let's bring this over here. List of swords that Abigail does want. Katana. Duh. Scimitar. Let me think. Estoc. An actual Estoc. The Master Sword. I haven't played Legend of Zelda and I feel bad. Like, I haven't played so many major franchises. Like, Legend of Zelda, I've only really played, I think, The Phantom Hourglass. I played a significant amount of time on. And I played a bit of Spirit Tracks, but I haven't really played any of the major console ones. Let me think. Estoc. Claymore. No, I don't want a Batleth. I want real swords. Some kind of dagger. I don't know what kind of dagger I want, but oh, you know what? I want a, honestly, kind of to pair with the katana, I want a... What's it called? I do want a Zweihander, yes, that'd be awesome. What's it called? Japanese dagger... Tanto. I want a Tanto. I want one of those, yes. I love Tantos. A rapier. Yes, certainly a rapier. Oh, I just realized you said that, War Machine. You want to get the Excalibur. I've already got Frostmourne over there. What other swords does Abigail want? There's a lot. There's a list here. Of things. Maybe a real butterfly knife one day. I do want to actually legitimately practice with this to the point where I can do it without, you know, cutting my finger off. Do I have a P.O. box? I do not. I considered it. And if I were to get a P.O. box, I'd probably base it somewhere in Sydney, so I'd have to go like hours out of my way, because if I base it somewhere in the city, then Yeah, let me remind myself what... Oh, yeah, Karambit. Yes, Karambit. I remember what a Karambit is. Yes, those are cool. Yes. And yeah, which of these are legal is the main issue. Want to watch me play Ocarina? I do want to play Ocarina. I've heard many good things about it. I've heard so many good things about Ocarina of Time that I do want to play it. Swords for Abigail. Hashtag Swords for Abigail. I already posted a tweet today about... that picked up a lot of steam for some reason. This is not particularly relevant, really. But for some reason, I just posted this, and it's got 110 likes, and I don't know why. Give trans women PS5s, in a similar vein of, you know, give me stuff. Yeah, give trans women PS5s. A lot of people like this. So, I'm okay with this decision. Ocarina just, what is it? Blah, where's my things? Anyway, we're being sword dykes. We are being sword dykes. I'm gonna press buttons on my stream deck with my little butterfly knife. Your move, Sony. A trans girl has gone on Twitter and said, give trans girls PS5s. Honestly, this one is not even for the sake of having a cool sword. I actually want to learn how to practice Bokken, which is a wooden sword, which, you know, is just generally sword training. Abby, what am I doing? What? You found a sword, please tell me it's cool. Let's have a look at this sword. Please tell me it's not a dick. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Slave Knight Gale, anyone? That's fucking awesome. Mate. A giant ass sword. How big are we talking? Sting? Sting would be cool. I've seen replicas of Sting floating around. The place that I got the Ciri sword from has got Geralt's steel sword from The Witcher 3. That's an executioner sword, yes. I've seen those before. It's yo-yo time. These are cool. Look at these. Hell yeah, man. Add that on the list. I probably would like the Buster Sword. Word. Oh, hang on. We'll save it later. I probably would enjoy the Buster Sword, but I never played Final Fantasy either. This is the thing. It's like I never got into Resident Evil. I never got into Zelda. I never got super into Mario. I never got into Final Fantasy. Like, all of these major franchises, honestly, like, I've never gotten super into them. It's really weird. Your flex reward. Oh, there you go. Sorry, I missed it. This one. So. And, this is not yo-yo, but, like, fucking sword lesbian shit. Just gonna show off the Zirael. Because I want to. The sword that I adore more than anything. But anyway, we're here for yo-yo, we're not here for sword. Is an actual butterfly... No, I mean like an actual butterfly knife with a blade in the middle, not a blunted whatever the heck that is. Posted rage porn in the news section. We'll have a look at the rage porn. We've got tons of news to get through, by the way. It's 11 o'clock and I've got a bunch of stuff I wanted to get through, including lab-grown meats is something I want to talk about. Hattori Hanzo's Kill Bill Samurai Katana. That sounds cool. Oh, I've got this the wrong way. I'm doing this wrong. No wonder it won't fit on my fat finger. Which, my fingers aren't even that fat, to be honest. They're pretty lean. Here we go. Yo-yo. Let's do some yo-yo, mate. There you go. What are you thinking about me yo-yoing, mate? How's it going? I hate my voice. I fucking hate my voice, dude. Can I just throw that out there while I'm just, you know, sitting here yo-yoing? I am fucking infuriated by the way I sound. I don't know how anybody can stand me. Quite frankly. How do you put up with this? And I'm one of those people who likes to raise her voice in class when there's, when the teacher goes, who can tell me about this, this, and this? I'm one of the people that likes to raise my hand and go, yeah, I have an idea about that. I'm a fucking know-it-all. I can't shut my mouth. That's why I do this. And I hate the way I sound. I have severe voice dysphoria. But I also don't want to shut the fuck up. That's a good idea, Vifal. I am going to create the armory. And also, over the weekend, I'm going to change a few things about the Discord. I'm going to make it so you cannot talk in the Discord unless you have... maybe I'll put like a timer of like 10 minutes or something. And I'm going to assign so you can only talk in the Discord if you are not the new mate role, which is the default role. Which was how it was supposed to be from the beginning. You were supposed to choose roles in the Discord before you could chat as a security measure, and we had some trolls recently. You might have seen the posts that I put up on Twitter where they were posting things that had F slurs and really gross statistics about trans people and gay people. So someone came in and they were just trashing my Discord, so we're going to add in some additional security measures to fix that kind of problem up. Hello. Anyway, I could just stand here yo-yoing all night and just like, check me out, bruz. How am I so fast with it? What sword do you want, Draco? Did you already say it? Hang on. Dragon's... Ooh, Berserk. I like Berserk. My voice sounds like a female warrior. I mean, that's pretty cool. Excuse me. That's pretty pog and based, not gonna lie. Big katana because of her Asian roots? That sounds good. There is like, you know what I wouldn't mind? The washing pole. I want the washing pole. Okay, the Dragon Slayer from Berserk. I love Guts' sword. It's fucking sick. Oh, mate. Check that out. Oh. And that's not specifically in Dark Souls, but you can get basically that sword in Dark Souls. Between my voice and physique, I'd basically be making women starry-eyed on Themyscira. More Dragon Slayer pictures. Oh my god, yes. It looks so good. It's just a blade and handle. If you watch Berserk and you see guts, you see why the sword is so big. I haven't read enough of Berserk, but he's huge. Like, Guts is huge, right? He's supposed to be just this mountain of muscle. I mean, all these illustrations don't really show him as incredibly bulky, but he is incredibly muscular. But the only Berserk content I will concede, the only Berserk content I've consumed is the Golden Age arc. And I did want to play the Band of the Hawk game, which is a Musou, or a Musou, I don't know how you pronounce it. Which is basically just a Dynasty Warriors clone, which seems kind of a letdown. Seems kind of unimpressive in the grand scheme of things. I think you could take the Berserk format and do something really cool with it, but they just decided to go Dynasty Warriors. Don't watch Berserk or read it. I've heard that it's a lot better to read it, and it's an ongoing saga. So yeah, you would snap your wrist in half. It doesn't stop you from wanting to hold it. You could probably get a foam one, honestly. That thing was too big to be called a sword, too big, too thick, too heavy, and too rough. It was more like a large hunk of iron. Yeah, exactly. You had fun with the game. It looks like it'd be fun for a little bit, but I want games with a bit more depth to them than stuff like that. I don't really get super into that Dynasty Warriors type of gameplay. It becomes a little bit tedious. Every anime has a D-Warrior clone, though. What do you mean? Anyways, what's this one? What's this sword? I'll skip through it because I just want to see what the sword looks like. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. What's that from? It looks cool, but what's it from? For sale at a steel block. Wow, I can't believe you made the whole thing in 3.5 minutes. Unbelievable. From someone who's collected edged weapons for many years. If one is to worry about a budget, I'd recommend buying only items you will train with and only hand forged, not decorations. Oh, it's an original piece. It looks really cool. But yeah, that's why I want to get a Bokken, because I want to train with a Bokken. So yeah, I'm probably not going to buy actual bladed weapons for a while. This list is entirely hypothetical at the end of the day. But here we go, we've got a few things. We've got a few things here. We'll save it to the desktop. There we go. But anywho, let's close this out for now and talk about lab-grown meat firms attract 6-fold increase in investment. I really want to try lab-grown meat. Funding soared in 2020 while study shows 80% of people are open to eating meat grown in bioreactors. The nascent industry growing real meat in bioreactors had a record-breaking year in 2020, with investment growing 6-fold and dozens of new companies being founded. A study also indicates that 80% of people in the UK and US are open to eating meat produced in a factory rather than a field, with the researchers concluding that cultivated meat is likely to be widely accepted by the general public. It is still meat, and I do still enjoy eating meat is the thing, but there is that moral quandary, whereas do we lose that ethical quandary if we are growing it in a lab? And I've tried, meat alternatives, which are typically plant-based things, but this is a different kind of situation. It's an interesting technology. Cultivated meat can produce significantly lower climate heating emissions than meat from methane burping cattle and other livestock, and also requires less land and water. Cutting today's overconsumption of conventional meat in rich countries is seen as vital in tackling the climate crisis. You won't eat the science meat? Why not? The companies, what if they just released it into the world and didn't tell you that they were just, replacing, the fresh meat with lab-grown meat in the, on shelves. It'd still be packaged as a T-bone steak or what have you. The companies are also developing commonly eaten meat such as chicken and beef, but also tuna, lobster, horse, and kangaroo. The products are produced in sterile facilities without antibiotics, thereby reducing the risk posed to human health by antibiotic resistance. The Good Food Institute, a charity focused on sustainable proteins, found in its annual industry report that cultivated meat companies received grew more than $300 million in investment in 2020, and the number of companies grew by 43% to 76. It said several companies were moving out of the lab and into facilities capable of producing thousands of kilograms of meat per year. These include Mosa Meat in the Netherlands, whose founder produced the first lab-grown beef burger in 2013. Early moves were driven by the promise of cultivated meat, real meat with a fraction of the adverse climate impact and with no contribution to antibiotic resistance or pandemic risk, but no one knew whether the world was ready. Now we know, said Bruce Friedrich, the executive director of the Good Food Institute. He just found a sword. Don't know if it's good to move further from nature in order to help the climate crisis. You might go to bed, Fox Radio. Have a good one. Why exactly, though? If it's helping the climate crisis and it's allowing people to continue consuming meat in such a way that it's not destroying the planet, because the meat industry is one of the big players in this thing, right? Plant-based alternatives to meat such as the Beyond Burger have reached the mass market, while cultivated meat will not be widely available for at least a few years. So get your T-bones in while you can. However, the backers of cell-based meat believe its authentic taste will give it an advantage, and the world's biggest conventional meat companies such as Tyson and Cargill are big investors on the sector. Cultured meat was approved for sale for the first time in November in Singapore. A recent report suggested such meat would remain more expensive than regular meat until the early 2030s, but that Europe and North America could reach peak meat. Peak meat. Peak meat. Peak meat. Peak meat. Peak meat. By 2025, thanks to plant-based alternatives. An analysis in 2019 suggested most meat would not come from slaughtered animals by 2040. Hey yo, can I get a peek at the meat? Hey baby, you want a peek at my meat? Acacia Smith, a policy manager at GFI Europe, said the cultivated meat sector had a record-breaking year in 2020, but it's notable that much of this progress has been happening outside Europe. To stand a chance of meeting their climate targets and ending deforestation, governments must invest in open access research we need to make cultivated meat accessible and affordable. The research on attitudes to cultivated meat is published in the journal Foods and examined the views of 4,000 representative consumers, half in the UK and half in the US. We found a high level of openness, 80% in both the US and UK populations, with 40% highly likely to try and 40% of somewhat or moderately likely to try. Excuse me. Peak meat! Believe we need to save the ocean so bad, no more fishing nets in the ocean sounds good. Yeah, I agree with that. Hello, milady, I'm part of Big Meat. The climate crisis is from humans working against nature. I guess I wonder how sustainable it really to create another product instead of finding more sustainable ways to live. I mean, the idea would be, why is Big Meat censored? Wait, what? You might have censorship options turned on in your account. It's fucking hilarious. You still just want sushi? Yeah, I like sushi. Like, I think the option here would be we take to lab-grown meat and reduce the existing meat industry significantly enough that the climate impact is lessened as a result. You know? Peak meat. Big meat! Younger generations had the greatest openness, more than 85% of those under 39 years old said they were likely to try cultivated meat. About 75% of those in older age groups said the same. On average, people said they expected cultivated meat would make up about 40% of their future meat intake. The results suggest that cultivated meat is likely to be widely accepted by the general public, especially the younger generations and an eager group of early adopters who appreciate its benefits, said Kai Jada, I don't know how you pronounce that, at Arizona State University in the US, who led the study. These groups tend to need a little encouragement to try new food innovations. The study was funded by Aleph Farms, an Israeli company that revealed the world's first lab-grown steak in December 2018. Israeli cringe. Didier Tobiah, the chief executive, said the long-term vision is to provide a better alternative to industrial livestock farming, which represents approximately 70% of global meat production today. GFI's report says fundamental technological breakthroughs are not necessary to produce mass-market cultivated meat, but that engineering challenges remain to keep reducing costs. Earlier in May, Israel's Future Meat said it had halved the production costs of its cultivated chicken breast in the past 4 months, from $7.50 to $4. The company expects the cost to drop below $2 within 18 months. There we go. Big meat! It also means we can stop forcing them to breed and allow them to die down to a more natural level, though they likely cannot survive without us now. Yeah, true. I'm probably going to have to conserve cows, sheep, pigs, chickens, etc., and other animals that are being cultivated right now for the sake of the current meat industry. But yeah, how about we just stop hurting animals instead of investing millions? I mean, yeah, we could try that. That's the thing, right? Is we could try moving away from meat. There was already discussion around the idea of just moving away from meat in general. But my personal viewpoint is it would be significantly reducing the meat intake that we're currently consuming, not necessarily outright getting rid of it. And I think lab-grown meat is the solution, is like it's the in-between to getting to that conclusion, right? It's the point where we're like, okay, we're getting towards this point now where we can grow meat in a lab as opposed to slaughtering cattle in mass amounts on a daily basis. And of the two, lab-grown meat is definitely the lesser of the two evils. But it is still certainly contributing in some way to environmental issues. The problem is, of course, we just need to... Fingers crossed, the idea is that this kind of initiative will long-term bring down the climate effects and ultimately, hopefully, reduce the severity of animal abuse that's perpetually going on in the world. And yeah, being vegan is something I would like to do. I've tried vegan options in my diet. I could probably reasonably cut down a lot of my meat intake, but it's so habitual at this point that it'd be very difficult to make that change. I would like to, but yeah, strict veganism is near enough impossible. And again, you know, if you go that strict veganism route and do so in the most affordable way possible, which I would have to do, then I mentioned this before, I hate to be so petty about this, my diet would be fucking boring all the time. If I was to go on that strict, cheap vegan option, I'd hate myself. I mean, there are some good, cheap, affordable vegan snacks in there and all this kind of thing. You know, prefer liquid foods? It might be a good idea. Veganism isn't guaranteed to be sustainable, that's true. Diet is so restricted that it's nigh impossible for you to go vegan. Sorry, Chiefs. Well, that's unfortunate too. Yeah, there's a lot of people who simply can't. Vegan burgers, I've tried those. But like I mentioned before, that, you know, if we were to keep the luxury foods in there, things like burgers, which is not really a big luxury food, but, you know, the cost of a 4-pack of vegan burgers is about double the cost of real meat burgers. Husband couldn't go vegan, it'd kill him. Yeah, maybe, like I mentioned, I was being petty. if we get over trying to eat food and just go for nutrients, we could save time and such. This is true too. We do certainly have a foodie culture. Generally speaking, a lot of people like the luxury of eating, I guess you could say exotic foods or things that are not necessary for their diet, which is its own issue. Vegan food can be amazing. The problem is a lot of the good ingredients are just hard to get because they have such low demand. That's also a problem. Yeah. The lack of demand for it. Stick to chicken and fish mostly. So do I. Mostly chicken. But yes, some fish in there as well. I don't generally eat pork, beef, kangaroo, not at all. So it's mostly like tuna, chicken, salmon. And it's not even that much either. I don't eat a whole ton of it. You know, I like to stay lean, so generally speaking, I might have one big meal a day, which may include meat, but it may not. And Aldi near me has got like a veggie-based mince, veggie-based like beef mince knockoff, which I would like to try making nachos with the kids at some point. Can you eat an ostrich? Good question. I'm not sure. There you go. Ostrich is very good. I have actually tried kangaroo meat before. It's fine. A whole ostrich? Probably not. Is kangaroo commonplace? Yeah, generally speaking, any supermarket I go to, I can find kangabangers, they call them. Kangaroo sausages. You can find kangaroo steaks, kangaroo mince, kangaroo burgers. It's pretty common. Yeah. The demand is here, but it's so expensive because veganism has become a white cliche, which, yeah, again, capitalism comes into play there. But yeah, I have eaten a bit of kangaroo in my time. Not the huge jump steak. I'm not the hugest fan of it. I don't go out of my way to eat it. It's not particularly expensive either. It's just, yeah, I don't really care for it. Like a plain of beef, but it takes seasonings like garlic better than most meat. Excuse me. I like the phrase jump steak. That's fucking awesome. Oh, goodness me. I don't want to wash this. I just want to hang this up and wear it tomorrow. But I can't wear it tomorrow because I've got karate tomorrow. I just want to wear this for the rest of the week. And it says to wash it like individually in cold water or something, or on a light cycle. And I'm like, I want to live in this. Somebody buy me more holy clothing clothes. I'm asking you to simp for me politely, please. Buy me more holy clothing stuff, because it's so... I want to live the witchy vibe. The pagan, Celtic, Nordic, whatever vibe. I'm just going to go look at the website now and just sigh. I'm just going to go... like... Give me a second. Like, oh my god. Just... A light cycle wouldn't work very well. Shut the fuck up. Yes, show me the sword you found. Look at that! Subscribe to my only witches, it's got hats. I do need a daddy dom. Do eat meat and animal products, though only from sources where they treat the animals like living beings. Yeah, like there was I think, on the subject of Doe, who we're going to raid later if they're still alive, they asked the question on Twitter, is there any ethical issue with consuming eggs? And a lot of people had the thought of like, if you have chickens at home, and those chickens are laying eggs, like my mother's got 4 chickens that she takes care of, they're her pets that lay eggs, right? That's ethical consumption of eggs. You know, they're not going to use them, they're going to lay them anyway. You know, they're not being bred to lay the eggs on a consistent, perpetual basis. They're not, you know, in cages. You know, these are free-range chickens that live in my mother's backyard, right? That do whatever they want. They have a nice, comfortable life. I think it's completely okay to eat eggs that come from your own chickens. Similarly, if you have your own cows and you take care of them, I don't think there's necessarily an issue with milking them, provided the milk is being produced naturally and they're not being forced to constantly breed, you know. But, you know, in terms of independently owning the animals. You know, not, you know, just trusting, like you mentioned, Bun, the free range industry. But yeah, a fucking light cycle. Since that's quite pricey and you're lactose intolerant, in addition to that, most of your food ends up being vegan, and in your opinion, it's not necessarily boring. Yeah, like, I know you could probably spice it up, quite literally. Read through a few books explaining nutrition and where to find which on a plant-based diet. Eat certainly with a variety, though very differently than you used to. True. On the subject of eggs, free range is such a loose term that doesn't mean much on a supermarket pack of eggs. Yeah, exactly. If they actually have enough space and in a domestic environment, it is more ethical. Yeah, if the animal's just happily producing a product for you. The main crux of veganism is not to benefit from animal torture, pain, and death. Exactly. And yeah, like my mother's chickens, they're not producing chicks. Don't know what "co" was meant to be. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, what? What? What came first, the chicken or the egg? There you go. Decide for me. Also, I hate this thing that this website does. Every so often a little pop-up comes up in the corner that says someone from location, just a generic name from location, typically in the US, just purchased this item, and it's just like an obvious way to coerce you into buying something. Check out this other item on our website. It's like, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna buy it anyway. Oh my god, dude. Dude, like... Look at that. Ah! Let me live in this. It's got other colors, which it looks like they've just photoshopped the same image, but they do sell the different colors, obviously. That's pretty. I want the pretties. Please. Look at... They've got the underwear. They've got the undergarments. You could get that. You wear it under your dress. How much? This is $70 USD. The prices are usually pretty high. So you would get that white thing and then you would wear it under the other stuff. Oh no, this one you wouldn't. Eggs don't make themselves. Why is the egg winning? I don't know. Siobhan Maxi, that's fucking cool. Yeah, they're pretty pricey, and then you got shipping on top of that, and they ship in about 4 to 5 weeks. They take a while to get to you. This took me 6 or 7 weeks to get to me. It was exhausting waiting for it. I had to email them, and they were like, oh, we'll expedite your shipping because you harassed us. Yeah, look at this thing. My god. Why did I find this website? This is literally misogynistic. 10 people think the egg came first. Okay. This is misogynistic against me because I'm now a woman and you're selling me all the cute clothes that I can't afford. You fucking assholes. It's basic evolution. Whatever modded chickens evolve from laid an egg. Yeah, you could argue that point. But then you get into the, you know, the tense discussion of like, what laid the egg of that thing first? Blah, blah, blah. It keeps going. Takes an egg and a sperm. Neither the egg nor the chicken came first. The trans elder who helped the egg find herself. Oh, goodness. True. I was thinking that when I wrote the question as well. I'm like, I could totally turn this into a trans joke. Let's not, but I could. God damn it, Bun. It's cute, though. It is. I'm so fortunate that I had friends to help me when I was coming out, when I was dealing with it. One of the first people I told was not a family member, but was, I mentioned this before, she knows, she's happy with me being so publicly open about it, but Mrs. Lalante, her wife is trans, and I went to Mrs. L, and I was like, look, I'm pretty sure I'm transgender. We had a whole discussion. She helped me crack that egg wide open. It was tremendous, and I will forever value her as my friend for helping me have that journey, helping me understand myself a little bit more. Such a good thing. I think every trans person needs that trans elder in their life, which is difficult, you know. And I mean, Mrs. L isn't technically a trans elder, but, you know, having her experience there around a trans partner is a good thing. something to relate to, something to talk about, and unpack those feelings. Anyways, the main goal to ultimately win the game and get off the island is to break open an egg. So proto-hen laid an egg, the proto-rooster fertilized it, so in a nutshell, or an eggshell if you like, two birds that weren't really chickens created a chicken egg, thus chicken came first. Technically, this is the thing, biology is stupidly complicated. You know, we call a chicken because that's what we know what a chicken is today, but at some point, the chicken evolved from something that wasn't a chicken, but it wasn't instantaneous. You know? It wasn't just immediately a chicken. You know? The chicken evolved into that over generations and generations. So, you know, it's RGB fridge with see-through doors. That sounds fucking sweet, and I guarantee you it exists. True. Let's have a look. There's probably something.
The Rogue Room appreciates your
Comment girl,
recommendation.
thank you for the host. I mean, there are drink fridges that have a similar thing where it's like they've got colored lighting. You know. You could certainly get something like that. Not chicken lays egg, egg hatches into chicken, that egg existed before chickens. It's so... It's so convoluted. And yeah, you can get like bar and nightclub fridges have all typically got colored lighting, you know. You know, they say dinosaurs actually had feathers that could be a mutated dinosaur. Oh, we've already drawn that conclusion. The whole point is it's a paradox anyways, yeah. Once you get deep into that discussion, and eggs in general existed longer than chicken, yeah. I suppose. Yeah, technically I suppose you could say eggs because eggs did hatch into other creatures that would eventually become chickens. What came first? The Velociraptor. It's too big of a question. Anyways. I'm looking at news articles right now. Here we go. Here's the thing. And this is quite relevant to, you know, me and probably most of you, I dare say. Top social media platforms unsafe for LGBTQ users report fines. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube are effectively unsafe for queer users according to GLAAD's inaugural Social Media Safety Index. Who at all is fucking shocked by that? I know I'm not. Who'd thunk it? 5 of the world's leading social media platforms are effectively unsafe for queer users, according to a new report from GLAAD, and a queer media advocacy group. In its inaugural Social Media Safety Index released Monday, GLAAD evaluated the queer user safety experience of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Initially, the organization intended to grade each platform, but it changed course after it realized it would be giving all 5 failing grades, GLAAD President and CEO Sarah Kate Ellis said. What we realized was it wasn't the right starting point, Ellis said in an interview with Axios. The right starting point was to give them the information to act and give them a roadmap to be successful. This is less about watchdogging. This is about less watchdogging, more partnering with these platforms to get it right. Excuse me. That didn't help. The 50-page report's key conclusions, in addition to finding the entire sector unsafe, were identifying the prevalence and intensity of hate speech and harassment as the most significant problem in urgent need of improvement across social media platforms, and labeling the problem of anti-queer hate speech and misinformation on the platforms as a public health and safety issue. Now, and on the subject, Botwick is now going to drop the pronouns extension in chat. If you're on PC, you can download the pronouns extension and show your pronouns next to your username in chat. Okay, Catalina, you're right. A, they don't give a shit. B, the reason it's so easy to get away with this stuff is that a lot of people will create throwaway accounts to just literally spew hate speech. And they realize that if they spew hate speech on a throwaway account, it'll get banned or deleted, maybe, if we're lucky. But they'll just go ahead and make another one. And that's one of the major problems with the social media digital age, is that people can just constantly create throwaway accounts and face no repercussions from it. Now, what's the answer to that kind of thing? You know, fingers crossed all these platforms move towards like 2-factor or 3-factor authentication, where it's incredibly difficult to make an account. But then that's just going to dissuade new users as well. Like the moment you start implementing that kind of security measure, then you run the risk of driving people away from the platform because it's too difficult to join it in the first place, and you're giving up too much personal information to create an account, thus making you more liable. However, it is also worth noting, like you mentioned, Crowder is still on Twitter. Crowder is an absolute queerphobe, and at the end of the day, there are going to be out and out phobic people across all of these platforms, no matter what you do, no matter what measure you kind of put in place. So we've got Twitch is one of the least safe, and then Twitch is pretty good for it. Okay, what are our thoughts there specifically? Why do we say it's the least safe, which I can already draw that conclusion, but why do we think it's pretty good for, I guess, queer inclusivity in a sense? Hey Zeta, how you doing? You need a nap? Radio Catalina, have a good one. It's really hard to make a Twitter account. Not. Yeah. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. I forget what the relevance is, but anyway. Where were we? I've lost the article that I had open. Here we go, yeah. Why is Twitch good? We do have a queer tag. We have one tag. They won't give us a trans tag, or a gay tag, or a lesbian tag, or a bi tag, or any of those things, an ace tag. Which, really, there's no reason they shouldn't. You know, there's a number of different identities in there that they could most certainly add separate tags for. Just because we are the LGBTQ plus community, the LGBTQIA plus community on Twitch, doesn't mean, oh, they gave us emos too. Fantastic. You know, doesn't mean it wouldn't help us to also have additional little identifiers in there. But anyway. You found a Firefox extension for the pronouns. Fucking awesome. Based and POG. Yeah, not the fucking helicopter jokes. Anyway. According to an Anti-Defamation League survey referred to in the index, 64% of queer respondents reported experiencing online hate and harassment, compared to 46% of Muslims, 36% of Jews, and about a third of Black, Latino, and Asian American respondents. One of the report's criticisms of Facebook highlights harmful anti-queer advertisements. Advertisements, okay. And its inability to detect and bar them. GLAAD, however, did applaud the company for creating campaigns, product features, and original content spotlighting the queer community. In an emailed statement, Alex Schultz, Facebook's Vice President of Analytics and Chief Marketing Officer, said the company is committed to making the platform and its workplace safe and inclusive places for the queer community. He said Facebook has invested in artificial intelligence to remove hate speech, produced online safety guides, and developed message request blocking tools on Instagram. Here's the thing about this, right? I have I have reported outright, direct, obvious queer hate speech on Facebook on numerous occasions, and Facebook has come back to me with like, oh, that's not hate speech. That's not hate speech. It's not hate speech. I'm sorry, it's not. Meanwhile, they are like this close to calling me the F slur. You know, in that kind of situation. Like, they are outright being as hateful as they possibly can. Your artificial intelligence doesn't fucking work. Anyway, or your report system doesn't fucking work. GLAAD encouraged Twitter to employ more human moderators to better interpret the legitimate use of queer terminology and to differentiate legitimate accounts from those of trolls and bad actors. The report said the company has, however, improved user safety by blocking hashtags known for spreading hate and by removing repeat offenders. Kind of reminds me of the whole TikTok Autism Challenge thing. You know, TikTok eventually removed the Autism Challenge tag from their platform. GLAAD also applauded Twitter for prohibiting misgendering and dead naming of transgender people, which, of course, anyone who disagrees with the trans ideology is going to call that compelled speech, as you would typically expect. A spokesperson said Twitter welcomes the report and the opportunity to understand the experiences and needs of the queer communities on our service. The report called out YouTube for the prevalence of content that GLAAD labeled as anti-queer hate speech on the platform. It also claimed that YouTube frequently removes, filters, or demonetizes appropriate queer content for allegedly violating the platform's community guidelines. This happens a lot. I hear about this kind of situation so routinely. A queer creator or a leftist creator is suppressed in the algorithm, they're demonetized, their videos are made unsearchable, like they're basically blacklisted or shadow banned on YouTube because they don't fit a specific advertiser-friendly narrative, which commonly involves leftist ideas or queer ideas. And it's shocking that it's happening so routinely. Yeah, on TikTok a while back, I have a video on my YouTube channel about it, which is a rehash of the video I did before I came out, because that was one of my best performing videos, and I deleted it because I didn't want people to see my old self so often. Anyway, TikTok had a thing about almost 2 years ago now, I think, called the the TikTok Autism Challenge. Was literally hashtag TikTok Autism Challenge on TikTok, and it was people going on TikTok and doing a dance to a song that was, I think the song was called Let's Get Arslurred, and it's not the Black Eyed Peas song. And they were doing a dance where they're like, you know, the thing that Trump did mocking the reporter? They were basically doing that as a dance on TikTok. It was a trend for a good while there before TikTok, in response to a lot of people saying, hey, this is fucked up, can you stop? They finally took the tag down, and took all the content related to it down. So fuck all those people who thought that was funny. You're a bunch of shit cunts. Please go fall into a pit of spikes. Anyway, by the way, for anyone who's not aware, a pit of spikes is typically called a punji pit. Go fall into one. Anyway, where were we? In response, a YouTube spokesperson thanked GLAAD for its thoughtful feedback and said, over the last few years we've made significant progress in our ability to quickly remove hateful and harassing content against the queer community that violates our policies, and yet Steven Crowder is still allowed on the platform. Prominently surface content in search results and recommendations from authoritative sources and limit the spread of extreme content by our recommendations. GLAAD criticized TikTok over allegations that it has shadow banned and censored some legitimate queer hashtags. I've heard a lot about this too. A lot of queer people getting, shadow banned on the platform. The report said, however, that TikTok was quick to implement measures that reduced anti-queer hate speech and misinformation. In response, a TikTok spokesperson said, we share GLAAD's dedication to the safety of the queer community and will continue to work with GLAAD and other queer organizations to help inform and strengthen our work. I feel like I have dyslexia. We'll continue working with, whereas I read it as, and will continue to work with. Anyway. The report includes a 9-point responsibility checklist for social media platforms. The recommendations intended to help become safer for queer users include greater protection of queer users in community guidelines, improved content moderation, queer hiring, inclusion and leadership, and promotion of civil discourse. The safety of queer people on social media platforms is an urgent public safety issue, Ellis said in the report. If we report this issue using a lens of public health and public safety, it is clear that companies have an inherent responsibility to make their products not merely safer, but actually truly safe for queer users and for everyone. GLAAD said it will include grades for each social media platform in subsequent annual reports. What are our thoughts? What do you think? Give me some final feedback on that particular story. I 100% agree. I've encountered so much bigotry, especially since I started following queer-related content creators and pages. There are certain pages on Facebook that post things all the time that are related to queer issues. Them with a full stop is like an online magazine, and they don't moderate their comment section on Facebook. So whenever they post anything that's particularly eye-catching about the queer space, they posted something about Elliot Page recently, the comment sections were filled with contrarians who were dead-naming Elliot Page, calling him a her, and all of this kind of stuff. It's so overt. There are so many people, again, the Facebook algorithm thing, how they're working on AI to detect hate speech towards queer people. Meanwhile, if you report these things where they're saying outright hateful things, not just towards a queer celebrity like Elliot Page, but towards the queer community in general, you'll get a report back that says, oh yeah, we didn't find anything wrong with their comment. Meanwhile, if you say even the slightest thing untoward to them in response to those people making the comments, you're more likely, as the queer person, to get caught out and suspended from the platform for 12 hours, a week, whatever. You're more likely to receive the punishment. I've noticed a bunch of other queer people have told me similar stories, and yet routinely bigots are just getting away with being bigots on the platform. Occasionally on Twitter, I have reported somebody and they have got suspended for it, for being... But the problem is, they have to be almost outright calling you slurs before the platform acts on it. They have to be outright directly attacking you in the most aggressive way possible before the platform acts on it. Do you think trans streamers need a medium to make themselves more discoverable? Peer-to-peer.live. Let's bring this up. Actually, let's bring this up really quickly. This is actually a good platform for streamers. If you are a streamer, This platform helps highlight those who, have different races and ethnicities, gender, ability and mental health, sexuality, religion and ethno-religious groups, accessibility provisions, and other miscellaneous ones. So like this identity is content is the mantra here at peer-to-peer.live. The idea is to connect people who are more minority on Twitch with others like them, because Twitch is not providing those tags. So if you are signed up to this platform, then it makes it that much easier for you to find similar people. Makes it that much easier to find similar creators who you want to watch, want to connect with, want to raid. Again, I've been meaning to do this a lot. I haven't been doing it lately, but I've been meaning to use that site to raid more queer creators, because that's what I want to do. It's so strange to me. I talk so fast. Fuck, sorry. But anyway, that's peer-to-peer, peer.live. Fantastic. Absolutely recommended if you're looking for more diverse streamers, generally just speaking. If you're not looking for another cishet white male, go to peer-to-peer.live. Anyway, I've been, that's a weird thing. Just the fact that, I'm looking for more queer streamers to raid. Why am I looking for more queer streamers to raid? I'm queer now. That is so strange to me. Like, I went from being that very person I just demonized. From being that status quo person, not just on Twitch, but in general, I went from being a very privileged cishet white male to being a transgender lesbian almost overnight. That's such a head fuck, a mind fuck, like, gay. I'm so gay, look at me. I'm a lesbian. And there are lesbians out there who do not like the fact that I call myself that. Well, fuck them. I've got a Nordic robe. Totally irrelevant. Go fuck yourselves. I like it. You gotta go to sleep, Andre? Have a good one. Thank you so kindly for hanging out tonight. Appreciate you being here. Oh my goodness. It's so unusual to me. To think, I carried that privilege for so long, while also carrying that burden for so long. Of like, honestly, a lot of it was the fear of coming out, I think, that kept me in the closet. And not knowing anyone. I think, quite frankly, once I started to connect with people like Mrs. L, again, trans wife, as a trans wife, and connecting with other people in the community that are queer, gender diverse, differing sexualities and all that kind of thing. Once I started to see more of them, they were more visible in my general circle, and the creators I followed as well. Once I started to see more of that, I was like starting to unpack feelings I repressed for so long, and then all of a sudden it just exploded. Were you the toxic type? I think I was pretty toxic, honestly. I think I was certainly accepting. The mix of privilege and erasure is a head fuck, yeah. It really messes with you. You don't realize it a lot of the time. And it's not like it hasn't made me depressed or anything. I'm not miserable about the fact that I have lost that privilege. You really wonder what would have happened differently if you had like one gay friend as a kid? I need to instill this in my children, honestly. And their other mother is also queer. She's pansexual. And I think she suspects she might even be non-binary. Not certain. So I'll still refer to her as her at this point, if that's how she discovers herself, sort of thing. So our kids have got two queer parents to begin with. So the queer notion is already a part of their existence. They already have an awareness of it. I think I need to sit down with them though, properly, and actually try to explain it more routinely. Like, get them to really understand the idea, because if they have that kind of experience when they're older, when they're discovering themselves, I'd like them to not have so much doubt about it. Howdy, Jordan. How's it going? How's your night been? Actually, it says how white male but had issues with gender and experimented with your sexuality enough to know you're het. Also, considered the switch for a few years while you were finding yourself, despise being lumped in. Yeah, I mean, I understand that as well, and I think I definitely despised that whole being lumped in with the stereotypical man. I always disliked the status quo man as a concept. And yet routinely I also don't get it done. Welcome to the Rogue Room. What was I going to say? At the same time, though, like, especially towards the point where I finally came out, there was much more of a skew towards traditional masculine stereotypes for some reason. Like, almost a pressure build-up. And then I'm a chick. Surprise! Took one episode of Jerry Springer as big to realize, before he went trash TV, to realize, oh my, I'm not alone back in 96 or so. Kays Maurice, welcome. How you doing? Welcome to the Road Room. Been good putting the polish on your comedy festival show? Ooh. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'll be seeing you on... That's Saturday night. Holy crap. I'll be seeing you on Saturday night. Watching your show. That's gonna be exciting. Hello, you are a bunch of emojis. I look forward to it. I'm keen. I'm super keen. I bought my tickets really late. Like, the other day. I was worried I left it too late, but no, I got a ticket. I will be there. I've got to figure out parking, though. I'm going to have to drive there. I don't want to drive all the way to the city. Just wrote your name in Wingdings. Well, that's cool. That's pretty pog. I can't read it, though. Unless it's just literally K's, Maurice. I don't know if other people had the same experience, but the first LGBT person you met was and still is so important to me. I'm trying to think, like... I've certainly known... Yeah, I honestly am not certain if the first queer person I met is in any way a part of my life anymore. K's Ice Rose. Okay, there we go. Well, there you go. I'll call you K's. Yeah, actually, I think, now that I think about it, there was one girl, I think, in particular, that I met, and we do have something of a relationship, but we're more or less acquaintances these days. So I think she was certainly important in my understanding of queer stuff early on, but she's not really a major player in my life these days, you know? Anyway, please pray for the Palestinians. Well, we are pretty pro-Palestine. Israel cringe. After knowing everything that's going on with Israel-Palestine, we are pretty pro-Palestine. This is one of those things where I'm like, and this is as someone who is a staunch pacifist in her own life, it's hard to... The whole Israel-Palestine situation, knowing everything that's going on over there, I'm kind of like, is it weird to say there are some necessary violence? I don't know. I wish there wasn't, you know, but you can't both sides this thing. 8K the God, welcome to the program. How you doing? Do you think you can be a minority within the majority and hate taking things at face value? So nice to be able to chill here as who you are and not be judged instantly because of your biology and choices towards yourself sexually. Yeah, like ultimately speaking, honestly. You say pacifist, yet pacifist contains pacifist. Fucking Christ. I'm easy. It's easy to make me laugh, okay? This is fucking sharp. Oh. Yeah, based on what we learned last night, it seems like the Israel-Palestine conflict is largely a very controlling colonialist and fascist Israel state versus a very desperate and struggling Palestine state that's doing their best to salvage what's left, kind of thing. You're a cis-het white male, you've been told that you can't speak on issues even if you're defending them. You feel that animosity is super easy to surpass. Yeah, like, I want this... What I was going to say is I want this to be a space where literally everybody is welcome unless their intent is harming, anyone in this community. Unless their intent is wishing ill towards this community. I want everyone to feel welcome in this community. You know, I want everyone to have a place where they can, sit down, chill out, hang out, be cool, vibe, all that sort of stuff. If someone tries to kill you, you're allowed to use force to stop them. Exactly, that's where I kind of stand on it right now. My ultimate goal, like if I were in my ultimate goal in life is I don't want to be in a violent confrontation, personally. I don't want to be in that situation where I need to defend my life. So I do everything in my power to avoid it. But if it came down to the brass tacks, I am going to defend myself to the death if need be. You know. Yang backpedal hard from my heart goes out to Israel to the truth is somewhere in the middle, yeah. And as far as I know, there's a pretty pro-Israel sentiment in the US, which is why he may have went that route. And I think he's probably... This is the difficult thing about the Israel situation, is you've got to be very careful to be anti-Zionist while simultaneously denouncing anti-Semitism. Okay? You can't, like, there are a lot of people who will conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. So you run the risk of, when you talk about Israel, when you talk about this situation, you run the risk of coming across as anti-Semitic, which I'm not. But you need to clarify that. It's Britain's fault. We watched something that insinuated it was maybe America's fault too. With Israel-Palestine, we just dumped them back there, and then the conflict happened because the US supports Israel as a state. Yeah, exactly. And because we won't disagree with Big Brother, we won't back up the people we promised land to. Anti-Semites will use Israel's apartheid laws to disguise the rest of their anti-Semitism. Evangelicals in the US are pro-Israel? Exactly, yeah. What does that tell you? Don't trust an evangelical. Now I'm just thinking of the evangelists in Dark Souls 3. The big ladies with the hats that set themselves on fire and set you on fire. I hate them. They are such a pain in the ass to deal with, even though I know how to deal with them. When's the earliest you can get a whip in Dark Souls 3? I want to do a whip run. There are whips in Dark Souls 3, surely. I'm not imagining things are, am I? Are there whips? I'm going to do a Dark Souls 3 run. Evangelical. Oh, there you go. It's looted from a corpse in Undead Settlement. So, literally, the third area. Big ladies. Not like Lady Dimitrescu. Yeah, the whip is actually in that same area where you first meet the evangelists. That's cool. I'm going to do a whip run. I've been really feeling more like Dark Souls and Bloodborne a lot lately. I want to play more Ghost of Tsushima too. Like, you'd love to do your first run with a whip? Yeah, so it seems like it's a pretty early on weapon. Pretty good early on weapon. The whip is, generally speaking, pretty underwhelming in Dark Souls. In the first game, particularly. The notched whip, which has got spikes and bleed on it, makes a big difference, but you get that a lot later in the game. But doing a whip run is just cool because it's also a fair bit of challenge to it. You got to know, like, there's a lot of weapons in the Dark Souls series where the moveset's very easy. The slashes, the strikes, all that kind of thing. You know the timing pretty quick. But then you've got something like the whip where it's a lot more convoluted, and you've got a bit of range to it. You got, like, the timing on when your attack is going to hit is a bit different. So if you're used to using a longsword and then you switch to a whip and you try to behave the same in combat, you're gonna screw up. You're gonna get hit. And Bloodborne, quite frankly, is the best for that vampire hunter aesthetic because the threaded cane, excuse me, is, yeah, quite literally a bladed cane that turns into a whip that looks like, excuse me, Ivy's whip from Soul Calibur. Just like a chain of blades. It's fucking sick. And I'm playing a threaded cane run right now, and it's just the best. I could live in Bloodborne. It's just so good. It's by far one of my favorite games of the PS4 generation. It's incredible. I'm gonna bring it back to stream soon. Although I have said I'm gonna be doing Ghost of Tsushima on Fridays after we're done with Fallout. And I know this is a bad idea, but I do kind of want to just get through the main story of Fallout New Vegas, even though I know there's a ton of good side content. But if I don't sort of get through it, A, I'll never finish it, and B, we'll be streaming it forever. Excuse me. Okay, so Jeremy Corbyn was an example. He got called anti-Semitic even though he was just pro-Palestine. He was campaigning for Palestinian statehood for years, and people just heckled him and misconstrued what he said. It just meant just to make him step down. He was not anti-Semitic. You spoke to someone and asked why they wouldn't be voting for Labour, And they said because of Corbyn and his anti-Semitism. And I said, what is anti-Semitism? They didn't even know. And the issue with the anti-Semitism thing specifically is because is obviously that excuse me. The issue with the anti-Semitism discussion is obviously the relation to Nazi Germany. You know, the Jews, I went to say the Nazis. The Jews had genocide committed upon them. You know, the millions of Jews were killed off. And as a result, when you discuss the Israel-Palestine conflict, there are some who actually do know what anti-Semitism is, who are going to bring that into it. It's like, oh, so you think Palestine should just be Nazis? Is that what it is? So that's, I mean, just on observation, I dare say there are people, and this is the problem, is like, Israel is a fascist state treating Palestine in such a way at this point in time, and the Palestinians are a revolutionary force trying to protect their society, their culture, their land from being wiped out. It's a very, very convoluted situation because there is a lot of violence on all sides, and there are a lot of people who, and again, I don't fully understand the conflict just yet. I am not all there yet. But just based on what we researched last night and what I've been reading since, you know, it's a very, very complex situation to discuss. And there are a lot of people who will have opinions on it who haven't read much on it themselves. They might have read one news article about Hamas bombing whichever place, Jerusalem? Where did they bomb? I forget. That's the problem. They'll read one article that slants Hamas, which, again, Hamas is very extremist. Hamas being the side with Palestinians. Effectively the Palestinian ruling government at this point, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. But, you know, they paint Hamas as a terrorist group to legitimize Israel. UK political discourse is whack. It's becoming too American. People are getting richer and there's more middle class people voting Tory just because of personal interests. Personally, I've always viewed stuff from the standpoint of societal progression is better than personal progression. That is ultimately one of the main structures of capitalism. You know, one of the core tenets of capitalism is the idea of personal progression rather than, you know, broader social upheaval. You know, a lot of what capitalism roots itself in is the idea that you could have the opportunity to be just like all those other rich people in their, you know, driving their fancy cars around the Hollywood Hills, living the high life, if you just work hard enough and throw everyone else under the bus while you do so. You know? Your degree is in international relations, so if you ever want a hand researching anything, that'd be a good idea. But anyways. Yeah, I'm tired. Do we want to see the robe in full one more time? I also was actually going to do, I didn't get around to doing this, because my, like how Terence McKenna said it, get a life, get a job, get a house, get a wife, then you're a player. Don't even want to play that game, yeah. Let's have a look at the robe again. We do still have a raid target in mind, yes, provided they are live at the moment. But here it is. Look at me. Sorry, my legs are very tired. I've been driving a lot, I've been sitting a lot, I've been sitting here. I need to get up and stretch properly. Oh god, are they still live? I think so, we'll have a look. Yeah, there was a lot of news that I didn't talk about tonight, but we had some good discussions, so thank you so kindly, all of you, for being such amazing people, as always. I love you being here. I love talking to all of you. You are just tremendous, quite frankly. You're all just tremendous. And I might buy the Big Booby Vampire Lady game as well. At some point. Well, I shouldn't buy it anytime soon. Us! There's the flex, but you can't really see it. I don't want to flex too hard because it's still pretty tight around the arms. And I don't want to rip it, so yeah. Anyways, a flex for the road. Anywho. We're gonna go raid Doe. Excuse me. Who is lovely. Doe is awesome. And, yeah, I'll be live tomorrow. Political discourse? Do we have a discourse in mind? Who likes it? Who wants to do a discourse? This was something I actually wanted to look at, but we'll do it later. Unfortunately, the only source of this thing is news.com.au, so Murdoch. But I did want to talk about this Waleed Ali and Anthony Albanese clash over budget on the project. We can do discourse. Let's talk about discourse. Let's do philosophy on philosophy. Oh, and I forgot about this story. I'll save some of these stories for tomorrow. I've got all these links saved here. So there's a few good stories that I wouldn't mind touching on, but if the news is particularly hot and spicy tomorrow, I might have to throw some things away. For fresh stories, for fresh news, like discourse, no thanks, I'm full. Anyway, before I disappear, final message, of course, be kind to yourselves and each other. My name has been Abigail Beck. You've been chilling out in the Rogue Room, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you.
Don't you care about democracy? Don't you care about democracy?
No.
Rogue
when
Raid.
I with my friends take over,